plug things in, but very little idea of which ones I can take out.
Be careful, if you take out the wrong one, your entire house could explode.
No, that's literally it. Yeah, that's about right. That seems non-important. I don't know what it was.
Before her house explodes.
I don't know what it was, but we're probably about to find out. Right,
oh my god.
See if the stream is working. Is this on? Hey, we have light. Oh.
Do we really have light? Oh my god, Martin, I was so upset. I really want the Critical Role art book. Do you know how much bloody Post and Package is?
How much?
$38.
Jesus Christ.
Yup, I'm not getting the Critical Role art book until I've saved that bit of money.
Lol, get wrecked.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Oh, okay. I've worked out my ticket now.
Oh, where's my
Because
iPad?
you're going from 3 bridges, right?
You do realise, yes, I am. That is the exact same mistake you made last time.
No, I was working on that assumption.
Time to
but
run
like,
up to my
if I
iPad.
put in Horsham to Winchester, it takes me down to fucking Arundel and round.
Oh,
like,
yay, fun times.
Southampton. So, and it's also actually less expensive to buy a return going from Horsham to 3 bridges and then 3 bridges to Winchester and then back again through that. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's $3.35 to get to 3 bridges and like £22 then to get to Winchester, and it's like £26 just to go straight to Winchester.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous. I need to sort out my ticket. Where on earth is Scorching Ray? There's Scorching Ray.
I'm gonna have tickets for fucking days tomorrow.
You're just gonna be juggling them. Oh my god. My ticket was not working at all yesterday when I was in London, so every time on the tube, I was like, uh-oh. I had to go up. Can you help me?
Can you help me? My ticket doesn't work.
Yeah. Which is really fun at 5 PM in Victoria Station on a Friday.
I just let you through the disabled one then. They do it quick enough.
Where is... You know when, like, you just lose where your mouse icon is? I'm like, where is my mouse? I don't know.
Like, at work, because I have 3 screens, I, like, always lose my mouse.
You're gonna have to, like, shuffle it around for a bit.
There's a setting where you can hit control, and
I was gonna say, I used to have that
around your mouse.
Ah!
I just hit
That's
control,
really cool.
it's like, oh, that's great.
No, that existed. Right, time
It's
to
really useful.
open up the
Oh
stream.
yeah, no, I used to have that sort of set up on my old mic, on my old computer, like a couple of years ago. That was really, really...
Lily, they look great!
As long as they look
Yeah,
like
they do.
you imagined they would look.
Yeah!
Yeah.
What am I doing?
My level 5? Oh, I might not have
Are we
leveled
level
up.
5?
I hope you're level
I thought we were
5.
level 4.
I thought you leveled up at the end of...
It's time to consult this.
Yeah, because we leveled up at the last time. At the end of the last stream.
I was an idiot who didn't print off my sheet last time we played.
I'm so bad.
Well, I will be leveling up right now then. If we're level 5.
It's fine, we're waiting for Kat, she's stuck in traffic.
I think I leveled up. I think I leveled him up. I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, cleric, level 5. What do I
I
get?
leveled
Oh no, this is
Level
gonna
5 without a long
be a
rest.
huge level, isn't it?
Oh my god. Oh fuck my life. Oh,
Wait, we are level 5?
Yeah, seems like it. I think all your players think they're level 4. You
Yeah.
think they're level 5.
Pretty sure we didn't level up to 5.
Yeah.
Right, it's time to change that, I guess.
Okay.
Level?
Yeah, I'll level up.
Sure, I'll level up again.
No.
Yeah, I thought we were level 4.
I'll just change it on the Photoshop file, it'll be fine. Ugh.
Oh no, we will take the level.
No.
Nah.
Cheeky Nando's, you need to put Pane at the end of your name.
And she'll...
The session around level 5s and we're on level 4.
That'll be fine.
That could be quite fun.
That'll be fine. Hey, where's Isra?
I don't remember what time zone Isra's in.
She did wake up on time, so...
Yeah, she said 40 minutes, so she should be fine. I'm awake-ish. I am not asleep.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'm just a tank. You don't need me. I'm just a tank.
You don't need the most important person in the party.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, I know. You're welcome.
I like how between the undercut and Hal and the deep V-neck, he definitely looks like a girl.
It's annoying because the dollmaker didn't have a particularly male, like masculine looking model, so...
Yeah.
Like, Morth looks way more tank than I do, because he's got better armor.
Yeah.
Which I'm offended by.
I think I do have better armor.
Yeah, he does.
I'm the tank. The character in the V-neck.
I forgot to do my dice.
And she's like, I'm looking at it, and Morth also has a battle axe, and I have a hammer. I'm pretty sure Morth is the one with the hammer.
Other way around.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I did it the other way around, and then I was like, no, it's the other way around. I'll fix it later.
You know what? I think you just got the
hammer.
pictures mixed up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna summon my familiar this episode.
Oh, good for you.
Yay! What to have? What can I have again? I can't remember.
Only birds. I've decided. No, I need a tissue.
Only birds.
To make it easier, Charlotte, look at the available familiars, and then just whatever. What I took the Pathfinder session was I took the Raven,
Yeah.
but then I made him a bluebird.
Yeah, it says it has a list of things that you can. So I can choose a bat, a cat, a crab, a frog, a hawk, a lizard, an octopus, an owl, a poisonous snake,
Take a fucking
a
octopus.
fish, a rat, a raven, a seahorse, a spider, or a weasel.
Oh, a seahorse!
I think I'm gonna go for seahorse. No.
Flying seahorse.
No, fuck, I'm
Seahorse
going
that
for a...
immediately dies because they're nowhere near water.
As much as I'd love a cat, a hawk seems very useful. I think I'm going to go for a hawk.
I'm hoping that alcohol will numb the entirety of my allergic reaction to this house.
Oh my god.
I think that's what it's for.
Ah, amazing.
Oh my god, no! I should have made a cat. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna make. Right, while we're waiting for Cat and Israel, I'm gonna make a character for me. I'm gonna make me.
You can do that.
I'm gonna make the DM thing.
Okay, well, I am either going to write fanfic when it's not my turn, or I'm gonna plan my session because we play on Monday and I've done nothing.
Good idea.
Nice.
Done nothing. I mean, I know what we're doing, but I've done nothing. None of my players watch this stream, so it's like, you were going to the plane of Earth. Well, we're already in the plane of Earth.
Like, shh, it's all good.
It's all good, guys. Just don't piss off the angels.
Where's the round face? Yes, the round
Choose the
face.
type of your familiar. Celestial, Fey, or Fiend. What?
She seems like a Fae kind of person.
Yeah.
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 So Celestial, Fae, and Fiend, that affects if, like, we piss off a paladin will, like, know what they are and then attack.
Yeah.
Based off of what we figure out.
Let's go with Fey.
None of my eyes are this particular colour. Let's go with this. It's close enough.
Tiny.
Tiny baby. I thought it was a hawk.
Yeah, it is.
A tiny
It's still
hawk?
got a size category.
They do have tiny hawks.
I have Asian eyes, but they're not that Asian. That'll do.
No, Millie. I thought we agreed that when you had a DM persona, it would be just like a little floating blob like Griffin in all the
Yeah.
cinematics.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but also, is not available in this, so we'll just roll with it.
Yeah.
If I could do the raised eyebrows, I would have the raised eyebrows. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of low-key mad all the time, so that will have to do.
Oh my god. I love it. It's like HP 1.
What, are you on Orc Pub again?
Yeah, no, I'm on the PDF character sheet. This is my.
I see.
This is my familiar. No, my HP is what is my
5.
HP? No, fuck off.
2.5,
I have
maybe.
a lot of HP. I have 30 HP.
What? 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that checks out, actually.
I keep rolling really well for the HP.
I have 37.
There's 35.
What's my con modifier? Do I have one? I do!
When you compare it, considering I started off with 8.
Well, I rolled my d4s and I got 4 4s and 4 1s.
Right. Although it is kind of sad that my Hawk Familiar has a higher natural AC than I do.
Get wrecked.
That's
By
hilarious.
2.
What the fuck?
The Hawk's AC is 13, my AC is 11.
That is hilarious. I've
Let's
decided.
hope I find like some magic armor or something that like ups my AC or something.
Mage
at some
armor.
point. Yeah, let's hope I come across that along with like some scrolls because more fire things.
Wait, you don't have mage armor?
No.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, I have Warcaster now, so I can
Same.
ascend to my true AC of 18.
I stole a shield, so I have 18 AC as well. But, okay, so switching arms, is that an action or a bonus action?
I'll call it a bonus action.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say it's a bonus anyway.
Okay.
Because you can draw and strike on the same
Yeah.
action, basically.
Good. Okay.
I like it because I can use my cantrips now as a reaction.
Ooh.
Which is why I went for Warcaster. I'll go for Spell Sniper next. That or I have to talk MIDI around to some of the feats in the Critical Role campaign book, where there's one where you can, they've got some pretty cool ones in there.
All the OPOB ones.
Yeah! There's a really good one in there that, they seem to give to, like, all of your party at higher levels, where you can, instead of drinking a potion taking, action, it takes a bonus action instead.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Where are the rest of our goddamn players?
Who knows? I haven't.
There, people.
What should I name my hawk?
Hawk.
You make hawk face.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of thinking that as well.
Oh, I should put the Twitch in the thing.
Yeah, someone take the bullet for us and put it on Tumblr so that the
I
rest
have,
of us can
I
just
have.
reblog it.
Just find it's the last thing I posted.
Always one to take the bullet.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's
Oh
one.
my god, I can see.
My hawk has +3 to sleight of hand.
What the
What?
That's amazing.
Because it's a bird.
Yeah, because birds have hands.
Sleight of talon. Sleight of talon. Okay, so does this mean that with a good roll, your hawk could beat Resh's passive perception?
What is Rash's passive perception?
I don't know, but
Not
could
that
it?
high, is it?
My
It's-
hawk's
it's
passive
fairly high,
perception
'cause-
is 14.
No, I'm not talking about passive perception. I'm talking
yeah.
about sleight of hand.
Oh,
Because
right, yeah.
we like to steal food from Resh,
Hmm.
and Resh doesn't like it when we do that.
And she has,
Yeah.
yes, this is that. I'm definitely gonna have to do that at some point because I
Okay.
can communicate telepathically with it.
That's fucking hilarious.
What did we do at the end of the last time? We, like, struck out from the druids,
Okay, so-
didn't we?
You
Yeah,
got
we like
really,
it.
really drunk in the
I'm
pub.
gonna check.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
got really
take
drunk.
my
That's
name back.
We got really drunk. which is, yeah, we definitely leveled up to 4 at the end of last session because I took my feat at last session.
Sure.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to use it.
nickname.
I love how my character is proficient with all weapons and all armor. So great.
Hal just looks at him and is like, I'm proficient in pretty much everything too, fuck you.
Millie?
Yeah.
I'm proficient in literally everything.
Yeah, I'm proficient in everything except, in everything. Simple, martial, light, medium, heavy, shields, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I speak Goblin? I should change that. Can I just swap a language for, like, programming?
You speak Goblin.
I speak HTML.
The secret is the goblins are the design. All the code is in Goblin.
Excellent. Oh, it should be like Gremlin. Speak Gremlin. Little
it just
gremlin.
appears on the screen and then I change it. Amazing.
It's huge. Nice.
Oh, hey, it's a Millie.
It is a me. I actually need to change this. I didn't realise it was so bad. There we go.
Yeah, I speak Celestial, Draconic, and Sylvan, and Elvish.
Nice. My players, they're very lucky that 2 of them speak Primordial because they're in the plane of Earth and they don't speak Common down there.
Yeah.
Funny enough. They don't speak Common.
It's alright. No one else is on the stream right now, so it's all good.
We're just trying.
Okay, so fine. I can close Photoshop. Yeah, close Photoshop.
Hey. I wish you could see who was watching.
You can.
You can.
How?
There's a view account.
List.
Yeah.
Where's the list?
So at the bottom of the chat,
There should
the,
be a
menu button.
Oh.
And that's the
Nope.
view list.
Oh.
yeah, and it'll say who's viewing.
Oh.
Oh, I still have my sword, don't I?
I hope you have a sword. No one took it.
I have a sword. No, in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. I don't know how to change that.
Hey.
No,
no,
you're
fuck
still a
my
moderator. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a mod, so I get sword.
I can change my color? I'm purple.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure it's persistent over everyone else's channel.
It is if you choose it.
Ah, okay.
Purple.
I've always been
If
burgundy,
you-
so woo.
Yeah, if you don't choose it, then it's just random. But if you choose it, then it's just...
Okay, let me go to Twitch. But not Twitch. Hi ho.
I should switch those buttons off.
I want to go back to sleep. Oh, I'm being yelled at. I have...
So I was playing Final Fantasy 13, and the boss I remember getting stuck on,
Yeah.
I beat second try. So, okay, cool.
Yeah,
But
I
then
really
they
need
had,
to go
like-
and grab 13 again.
Yeah. They had a point, like, the game opened up and there was just a massive spike in difficulty. Just like, it went from really easy, like, nothing posed a threat, to
Holy
the
shit,
first
what is
thing
happening?
I
Yeah.
thought, the first thing I thought out in the new world, one shot on me. And it's like, okay, what the fuck?
Time to read up on what these skills actually do.
What is this?
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
just
cool.
like,
Thank you.
everything now does like 5 times the damage.
This is
Oh,
oddly specific.
right.
Was it an oldie?
Little.
Oh, okay. That's good. Lidl is now selling lint removers if ever anyone wants a lint remover. Yeah, you know all the bobbly bits you get on your polo shirts.
Never do.
God, I love it when you just, like, off the cuff, the most English thing I've ever heard. I got complimented last night for having a very Canadian accent, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, you do sound kind of Canadian.
almost like I grew up here.
It's just polite American.
Yeah.
My wrist is
Oh,
dying.
hi, Diesel Weasel.
Too much checking off.
Yes, that's exactly my problem. RZ, where are you? Oh, we have another person in the thing? It is not showing up, so I don't know who it is.
I'm just waiting for Kitty Cat.
Nope, they gone. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, is Rhythm playing anything? 'Cause
Yeah.
they're at 0.
It's really quiet. It's Skyrim Atmospheres.
Oh, I used your music from I don't know if it was last session or like 2 sessions ago. I've been using that to write to. It's very, very good. Very nice.
Which music?
1 hour dark winter music and
Oh,
gothic music
yeah,
by Derek and Brendan 1 year ago, 2 million years.
Yeah, that's cool.
There we go.
I want my boy.
Okay, we have one of them.
What? Hey.
Sorry, I was having. Oh, there's my spell list. Okay, that was weird.
Having feelings.
Yeah, there's an Ezra.
Is it Isra?
Holy shit!
It's our guest.
Ezra. Hello?
She'll
Nope,
probably
she's-
connect in a second.
It's so quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're super quiet. You're super quiet. I wanna
Max
change
that
the-
mic.
Edit. Do I have other luster art I can use? Can I promo other people in the art?
Brilliant! I
When
can
did-
now cast. I
when
can
does
now cast
that chapter
Agnes
go up,
with
Sonny?
Torture
Or
3
has it already
times in
been
a
up?
row.
It's gonna be the next chapter.
Okay, no, it's fine because I wanted to know when I could post it.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. I was just like,
Um,
not yet, I guess, because people,
was
I haven't
supposed-
seen your asks be like flooded with people screaming at you yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I posted a chapter on Patreon last night.
Yeah.
So there will be a chapter update tonight, but because my dragon did not do all the things they were going to do, Ango McDango is still safe.
Okay.
I love listening to conversations I have no context for.
Yeah, none of you read it, so that's fine. That's fine. Millie knows that. Oh wait, you don't even know Angus, do you? No, Sammy. Mortha, you know. Fuck.
Yeah, I've
Yeah, he's
listened
finished the
to
whole
all.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I binged it.
Good. Yeah, me too. Yes, me too.
I keep trying and then failing to binge.
Angus McDonald is stealing from a dragon.
Nice.
I mean,
Yeah, I
that
got
totally
like
sounds like an Angus thing to do, so I'm not even mad.
Just walks into a dragon's den and is like, "Oh, I'm going to steal this from the horde. Thank you. That's mine now. Bye bye."
Cat's just got home.
he's
Okay,
home.
cool.
Ezra, are you louder yet?
I'm gonna turn on my laptop and.
Hang on, what was...
That
Let
would
me
be a
see
good idea.
how
Okay.
loud you are on mine.
You're still pretty quiet.
Do you have something to roll dice with?
Yeah.
She can roll in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, formatting question. How does one make the TM hover?
Hover?
How do we do that?
Wait.
Hang on, there's an old
What?
code for it.
I know how to do it on a Word document.
I mean,
Okay,
I speak
Alt.
Goblin, so I obviously know how to do it. Alt?
Alt 0153 on your numpad.
Alt what? 153?
0153 on the numpad.
Hang on, is that showing up on my... Oh, it is.
That's a good question. What languages do I speak?
Alt 01.
Yeah, hold down Alt
Yeah.
0153.
Oh.
Ugh.
0153. Hey.
TM.
Oh, there we go.
TM.
Tim Tim.
Yeah. What's the other one? Oh, 241, I think it was. Yeah, that's the one I had to use at uni so much, plus minus.
Oh, the stream is refreshing.
Yeah.
Who's yelling at me?
If you can hear yelling, that's Dad, using the processor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I speak Common, Elvish, and Celestial.
Speaking more languages.
Well, I got Common and Elvish, and then I obviously get the extra language for
Half elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get an extra 2 from Acolyte.
Nice.
Dingle dangle dingle dangle. Dingle jangle jingle jangle.
Jingly jangly.
Yeah, I can just hear Dad processing shit. So.
I'm super happy I can cast Agnes's Scorcher 3 times in a row now.
Oh god.
I think I have some fun stuff as well. I got.
I need to think about what 3rd level spells I'm gonna get.
I have Spiritual Weapon now. That'll be fun.
Ooh, cool.
I don't.
Nice.
That's the actual conversation where they're all like slightly hungover, but they're getting ready to go, and Morthal and Penny are like bonding over spell slots. And I was just like, I don't. Wait, how long does my feet last for? Can I give a motivational speech every morning and we all just get the bonus HP like all day, or does it expire? Let me look it up.
I wonder if there's like a fantasy hawk name generator.
A fantasy what name?
Hawk name generator.
No, just Hawk, but like.
HAUKKE.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna have to like. Yeah, here we go. Pet bird of prey name generator, fantasy name generator.
Giblets.
Asking you shall receive.
Giblets, yes, call it giblets. Please call it giblets.
Please call it giblets.
I kid you not.
Call
The
it
top
giblets
2
and then...
names it has recommended me are Hawk, HAWKE, and Phoenix. Followed by Blood, Surge, Shadow, and Surge again.
Oh my god. Shadow Surge!
Edgy McEdgeface.
It needs to be a hedgehog. It's gonna be Shadow.
Pex is great, I think.
I'm just gonna call it Shadow to remind Sunny
Oh,
that she
no,
has to write
that's
Sonic
edgy.
fanfiction every time we talk about him.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you paid $65, didn't you?
Chris.
These are loud.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can.
Yes.
that's better.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Oh yeah,
This is my
anyone
headset.
tell me if they're getting echo
Yeah.
from me at all. I don't think they are,
No.
but
I got nothing.
cool.
I need a
I'm
bigger
gonna
glass.
listen to the stream for a sec.
same.
I guess we should talk in order to make that, like, work.
No, we need to be completely silent. Fuck with them.
Shh, shh. I'm bored.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, sounds good.
Good damn it, Millie, you had one job.
I'm trying to do my job because Kat's not here. I can't do it.
Come on, cat. Load up that PC.
Come on,
Yeah.
Cat, we believe in you.
I believe.
Angels.
Okay, I'm back from listening.
Two very
No,
different
very,
songs.
very different songs.
I'm back from listening to the stream. What was I gonna say? Charlie, if you want to hurt me, you don't call it Shadow. You call it Chris. Chris, who must be saved from sin.
Oh my god.
Chris
What is
must
this?
go
You
to
give,
church.
is there alcohol in that one?
Nope.
Okay. Why? What incentive do I have to drink it then? What have you?
Because it's.
What was that
Hey,
pop?
Tom!
What have you? Everyone says hi.
No one says hi.
Who's saying no? What?
What did you put in this?
Carrot juice.
Is it just carrots?
Evaporated milk.
Mmm. That's what I
Is
think.
it carrot juice soaked in vodka?
Yeah. Vodka carrots. Duh. Everyone's favorite daytime snack.
Ugh.
I need to know, guys. Now, no, I need to know. I'm gonna have to
No.
marinate carrots in vodka.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I'm unsurprised by that declaration.
If you're doing that, I want them as snacks on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make them as soon as I
Maybe
get back
if she
home.
soaks them, for long enough, they'll be flammable, and you can kind of like Christmas pudding them.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
It'll
I
be a
know.
challenge. You have to put flaming one in your mouth.
Flaming.
Okay, I zoned out. I came back to flaming one in your mouth. What are you
Wow.
talking about now? You're just, for those who just joined, I don't see the new people on the viewer list. Maybe they don't have a
Refresh it. Yeah,
refresh the stream?
sometimes if you're not logged in, it won't show you.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
There
surely
are
it's
seven
literally just us watching it.
I think so
Yeah,
at the moment.
It's mostly us.
There's 7. Oh yeah, it might be yes. What was I gonna say? Shit.
There's 2 people who aren't us.
Yeah. My coffee is
So many.
keeping me alive. Oh wait, I was looking up my maneuvers. Right, my feet. Where the fuck is my
Your
feet?
maneuvers. Your maneuvers.
My manoodle. Okay, it's military rank. Inspiring leader. 1 can't gain temporary hit points from this feat again until after a short rest. So oh god. I'm gonna do it. Yes. Can I roll anything for this feat?
Great use of inspiring a leader. It was just a hug. It was a group hug.
But such a hug.
Yeah. It was a really inspiring hug.
Okay, so just so I just high five everyone, and you get 8 temporary hit points for a good high five.
And you
I'm down with that.
sink a gun, everyone.
Like you think that it's gonna be stupid because Hal's is not the most leader. He's not a
Hello,
leader.
hello to the circular one. Hello, I wave.
Waving.
We're all waving / wave in the Twitch chat.
Flash note.
Oh, that's not a wave. That's a wav.
Wav.
I'm proud of you.
But no, that's actually
You're
what's gonna happen.
functioning so well this morning.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But what's gonna happen is we all wake up. I know that Kitty's not here yet, so our druid is still not here because she was out with her parents. But we all wake up and we're ready to go. And Hal just like stands there and he kind of gives us like, oh, fine, I should say something. And then he just like high fives each person, but it's somehow charming enough that you gain 8 temporary hit points for the day.
That's hilarious.
I believe that.
Oh no, that's exactly what we're doing. 'Cause
Right,
we're gonna go
so-
traveling.
What am I naming this goddamn hawk?
Oh my god.
Pex.
Pex.
Yeah.
With the Z.
Pex. And like it sounds kind of like because the
I'll
only
be
thing that
back in
Hal
a minute.
thinks,
Okay.
the only thing Hal thinks of when he hears the word pecs is he's like pectorals. Why?
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn it. Fine. I'm writing it in pen on the character sheet. That's how dedicated to this I am. Spin it. But as far as everyone else is concerned, they just wake up in the morning and suddenly I have a...
Have I seen this hawk before?
No.
Cool.
Actually, yeah, you probably have. If we're gonna be proper about it, yeah, you probably have.
Am I observant enough?
I mean, yes, I'd like to think so. What is your passive perception?
I think it's the minimum. Like, where's my wisdom mod? I think my wisdom mod is 0, so it's what I think 10 is just the base, because I think it's 8 plus. Yeah, I don't know.
I forget that I have like a really high passive perception.
I don't, because it's wisdom based. Hal ain't wise. He's wiser than he's smart, though. Poor boy.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I got no dex. I got no wisdom. I got minus intelligence. But I got plus 4 strength. But I got plus 2 strength, plus 2 con, plus 4 charisma. Because I am a smart build. I build them so good. I love half elves so much.
Half elf's so broken. I love it.
I love it.
I hate all of you. Who do we lose? Oh, we lost Charlotte.
Yeah.
Okay.
There she is. And it got quiet.
Whoa.
There we go. Okay. I'm gonna write my thing. I need to look at monsters, because I don't remember.
This is absolutely where Cat just never shows up. We just sit here talking shit for 3 hours.
That is definitely something that is going to happen. 1 second, I need to go and find a tissue box. I'm still so full of cold. I hate it. I hate
I
having
too
a
am
cold.
full of fluff.
Everyone is ill.
I mean,
I hate the winter.
Mostly because I shoved my face into my dog as soon as I got back home, but...
I mean, yes, that is true. But I kind of don't blame you.
No, I mean, I do this with all animals I'm familiar with. As soon as I get into the general vicinity. There was a dog in the pub yesterday. He was so fluffy. It was great.
Holy shit! Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Cat!
Welcome back. Welcome.
Oh my gosh! I'm finally home. Traffic was awful.
Yay!
Oh my god! And then my computer wouldn't connect, so I was just screaming into the void.
Oh my god.
It's okay. Alright, so actually, because I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm tired. Dice. Does Hal just do the awkward high five, or does he actually, like, talk to you guys about where we're going?
Oh no, he totally just silently high fives.
We go this way. He just leaves the inn.
Absolutely.
He doesn't tell you guys where the hell we're going.
Our rhythm is apparently turned off. Let me fix that.
Just like high fives and then like Autobots, roll out!
Oh,
Okay, what have I missed? What have I missed?
nothing.
so
Like, we
nothing.
haven't started.
But I'm just establishing that when we wake up in the inn, Hal, because he took the inspiring leader feat, he just, like, everyone sort of, like, gathers and stands up, like he's going, and he looks like he's going to give a speech, and then he just kind of, and then, like, high fives everyone. And you'd think it'd be super awkward, and it kind of is, but at the same time, after, like, he, like, claps Resh's hand, like, with the high five, Resh gets 8 points of temporary hit points.
And you just can't
And then Hal, who knows where we're going, he knows what the Sundown Desert is like, and he just sort of is like, alright, let's go, and then walks out.
Also, I have a
No
hawk
information.
now.
Yes.
Who we've unanimously decided is called Pex with a Z.
Wait, what is his name? Wait, what's
Pex.
going on?
Pex.
What is Pex?
In the
Pex
chat.
He's my hawk.
He's Penny's familiar.
Yep.
Okay.
He's a hawk. He has a grand total of 1 hit point.
Okay, so let it be known that after 43 minutes we are technically starting.
That's about right.
I'm so proud of
Okay,
us.
so in the last episode you defeated,
Reality.
yeah, pretty much, you fucking kicked it in the nuts. You dunked on the Lady Maria. You were possibly voyeured upon whilst you were doing this by an evil celestial kind of spirit person thing. And then, yeah, you broke reality and then had to fix it again, but you're not entirely sure how you did that. And then the crystal responded to Resh, and you all became admins. But the celestial plane was no longer responding. It's no longer connected. And then you're like, okay, cool, that was weird. And then you left. And when you returned to the little town of Solace, no one remembered what happened. And so you all got very, very drunk.
We know how to cope.
You do know how to cope.
Yeah.
Excellent coping mechanisms.
And so you were told that Havisham never had a child. You were also told that the druids were back in the UDS.
The Urban Druid Society.
Yep. And you were told that, or you gathered hints that let you know that the Sundown Desert is the next place you ought to be. And so you wake up after a lot of you... Wait, hang on. Everyone give me constitution checks.
Uh-oh. Oh, I need to do 20 for that. Hang on.
Let's see, that's fine.
Rolling.
Wow!
There we go.
Nope.
That looks like a d20.
19.
19.
I am good. Hey.
I deserve this. I got a 13.
A 13 and a 4. And Kat, you got a 20.
Let's see. I got a 15.
Okay, so everyone, apart from Morthal, is ridiculously hammered. Like, still hammered. And hungover at the same time.
Rip.
Get wrecked.
Oh, great.
And so for the next couple of hours, any hits you try and make will have disadvantage.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for the next couple of hours, any hit rolls that you have to make will have disadvantage.
Excellent.
Amazing.
You got so supremely hammered that you still can't tell which is up or down.
I mean, to be fair, we did have our entire concept of reality fucking twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Hal from his cot says, I vote we leave tomorrow.
No.
That is a smart man.
I vote we leave today. I'm feeling great. Don't know about
Resher
you
is
guys.
like twice as plastered as Hal is because he's so tiny. Doesn't even respond. He probably just falls out of bed.
Resh, I rolled a 4.
Yeah,
And he
Pan is
doesn't
not
even
even
wake up.
conscious.
Alright, I get out of bed and I help Pane out of bed. Like, come on, recruit. I start like, it's like the old army, like, get up.
Oh, no.
I'm just there and I'm like...
He's not even gonna shave. He's not. He like washes. He splashes his face with cold water, and then like, okay, up,
No.
get up.
No.
Why do you have a bird? Why are you sleeping with the bird again?
No.
What's this bird?
It's her bird.
He's
Is it a
cuddly.
bird?
It's her bird. The
Where'd
bird.
come from?
Since when we got bird?
He's cuddly.
It's a bird.
At this, while you're trying to cuddle Pex, he looks very, very, like, confused and perturbed. He does not like being hugged. He sort of squawks a little bit. Confused. And maybe bats you. He sort of bats you with his wings.
Do you have a death wish, Vento?
Look, we can communicate telepathically. Technically, the hawk is also drunk.
Oh my god!
That's not how telepathy
That's
works.
not how that works.
That's how that works.
Yeah, no, he squawks right in your ear.
Ah!
Go skip. Alright, everybody, just get up. Just let's get ready. We gotta. Before we go, and he's like holding his face. He's like rubbing one eye. He's like, before we go, just everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. They're like,
Yeah, Morphle just
I
sort
feel
of
like I need
springs
to roll
up.
an acrobatics check.
I think it's athletics here.
I don't know, what am I worth at?
Hours at this
Acrobatics
point,
or
we're good.
athletics? Yeah, you're like that frustratingly peppy person, like, the next morning who's, like, made everyone coffee and has been up since, like, the break of dawn and has been
Yep.
like, oh, it was such a beautiful sunrise, guys.
Secretly, I was only up like 5 minutes before anyone else, but I get ready really quick.
He like chugs water. He like chugs the water and is just like, yeah, I'm ready. All right, let's go.
And none of us know you well enough to believe otherwise.
Yeah. And then how, like, he gathers all of you, and he looks really solemn, and I rolled a 17 for charisma, so he looks like he's gonna give, like, a good speech. And then he just looks at Resh, and he, like, high five.
Resh is too confused to even protest. He just gives him the high five. Like, bewildered expression on his face.
And, like, and he goes around, and every time someone high fives, he kind of gives, like, a wink, and he's like, yeah, good. And then everyone gets their +8 temporary hit points. Inspiring.
The best.
I've never felt more inspired by a high five.
Are we ready to go?
Hal,
and then he like high fives himself.
I think this only worked because everyone apart from Morth was so plastered. Morth would have taken it anyway. No one else would have, but they're so hungover that they just don't like contest.
Just don't contest.
That's why I picked Resh first. It's like Resh is the least likely to give a high five.
Like, it was completely, like, just dead-eyed, very confused there.
But then he gets +8, so it's good. We're gonna need it. Actually, that's exactly what he says as he's, like, getting his bag ready. He's like, you're gonna need it.
You've managed to put your pauldrons on back to front. And, like, your necklace is stuck around your forehead.
I have a necklace?
You do now.
Well done.
Okay, but
That's how drunk you got. You somehow acquired a necklace in the night.
What does it look like?
It's just a string with some colourful beads on, but tied very... It's got lots of, like, macrame knots in it.
Macrame knots? Okay.
Somewhere in town, someone is lacking a necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like, oh, you said it's over my forehead, so, like, I can take it on and off?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he just, like, looks at me, he's like, I don't... Did I buy anyone a drink last night? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Give me, an insight check on yourself.
A money roll.
Nat 20?
Nat 20. Someone actually...
The one thing he remembers.
You actually just took it off another drunk patron last night, and they just didn't care.
As much. Because, yeah, like, you see him, like, looking at this necklace, and he goes, oh, yeah, okay. And then he just keeps getting ready. I will protest him putting his armor on wrong. I'm pretty sure he can do that stone, like, just absolutely...
It's not necessarily wrong, because the pauldrons both look the same, but you've just managed to do it in a way that looks like you've sort of put your right shoe on your left foot, you know?
I fix it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I put my armor on right. And I look at them and it's like, there's no point discussing where we're going. Are we leaving now? Where are we? Actually, never mind. There is a point discussing. Where are we going? Are we going to the Urban Druids? Or are we going, like, off? Are we leaving?
Let's check out the Urban Druids. I want to see what they actually are.
Resh would like to see the other druids too.
Yeah.
Well,
But maybe they'll have, like, a hangover cure or something.
Okay, so you stumble downstairs, and Jess is behind the bar, also looking a bit worse for wear, because you have a feeling she maybe got a bit jolly with the rest of the patrons as well last night. And she sort of grunts and then waves you off. And you go out into town, and it's bustly, and it's busy, like it is on a weekday, on a business day.
Oh, it's so bright.
Yeah, it's very bright, and it's like, it's getting to the point where it's biting cold, because it's the morning, and it hasn't warmed up yet. And so, you can sort of feel your noses running a little bit, because you're still not quite well after your last night. Apart from Morth, who's completely fine, apparently.
Yeah.
More.
And you make your way downtown to the UDS, and as you... everyone give me perception checks.
I love the UDS. I love it. I love the UDS. I got a 3.
I got 19.
Okay.
I'm having flashbacks.
11. Okay, so, Martin, Morthel, you recognise it as... you see it anyway. Penny and Resh do too. Halid is just not... He's just not paying attention. You actually see quite a few colourful caravans lining the streets today that weren't here when you got here last. They're sort of bright oranges and reds and yellows, and quite a few like really, really bright pinks and such. And you can see a lot of people that Panna you recognise from the east, milling about, selling their wares. And You sort of look at them and nod and then go on your way. And eventually you do get to the UDS. What would you like to do?
We'd like to
Oh.
go in.
I have a question, Millie. I don't remember. Did I buy my shield, or did I just say I was going to buy my shield?
Didn't you nab it off one of the
Yeah,
fanatics?
so
Yeah, you
Nicked
nicked
it.
it.
I nicked it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you pick it.
Oh, I did it bad.
Which
I
now
thought-
I realise would have disintegrated as soon as you left.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I thought. Okay, so I don't have a shield. Okay,
Rip shield.
okay,
We can
Yeah,
go
he-
shopping after this if you want. Or
Yeah.
Before we
or
leave.
he, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
How much money do we actually have?
Have you been keeping track?
I mean,
I
I haven't
have
spent
one
anything.
minute.
I have my starting cash.
Yeah, you have your starting cash
as
and
I
you haven't
scroll.
bought anything yet. You also haven't
I have-
managed to get you got a couple of things from like gems and whatnot.
Yeah.
From the
Oh, yeah, I have this locked chest.
Oh yeah.
What, from the Druid Stone?
Oh, from inside. Did that disintegrate as well?
Oddly enough, no. Actually, it looks a lot worse for wear than it did, but it's not
Cool.
disintegrated yet.
Okay.
I
got
asked, is that from the Druid Stone?
5 gold.
Yeah.
Should we take it to the Druids, or
I mean, I kind of want to open it.
that would be a good idea?
If
In the
only
street,
someone
though?
here knew how to pick locks.
I gesture towards like the alley so that we're not in the middle of a street full of people when we
Okay.
open a magic box of magic from another dimension.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just gonna like try and pry it open
Let's go
because
for
I
it.
can't. I don't know how to.
Fucking
make it lock.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Yes.
Give me your shield before you open the magic box from another dimension.
13.
Ooh, not quite enough. You hear it creak and crack,
Okay.
but not quite.
Here, let me try.
Okay, you give me a strength check.
Pass bucks.
I give him back his shield. 17?
Yeah, that'll do it. You sort of manage to get your thumb underneath the lock and pry the wood apart, and as you do, a horrific scream erupts from this chest.
Jeez.
And for a minute, for a split second, everything goes dark, pitch black, and then it's over, and the box disintegrates.
Hey, fuck.
Well, that will come back to haunt us later.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Hal definitely like fell over when that thing screeched, and then this the darkness calms. He looks around, he's like, "Good thing we didn't do it in the middle of the street." And he picks himself up.
Okay.
That we should have taken that to the Druids first, I think.
Nah.
Nah.
Let's go to the druids.
Okay, so
I
you go
follow
to
Morth.
you go to the UDS like you have done before, and again there is the tree, and this time it looks sort of a lot healthier than it did before, as if someone had been tending to it recently, and you can see the same sorts of things going on inside. Do you go inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you guys sort of knock on the door a bit before you go inside, and you open the door, and you hear a bell tinkling as you go inside. But when you go inside, it's exactly the same as it was before.
Like dusty and dark.
Not dusty, still dark.
Wait, all of the druids were like... We're assuming the druids were in like the same place as all of the other villagers, right?
That's what I'd assume.
Then that means that they also no longer exist.
That's what I assumed. Okay.
Yeah, there are no druids in here.
Hal goes to the Honesty Orc and checks to see if Padme's money is in it from last night.
Mm.
Oh, you got, as in you just
Yeah.
pick it up and jangle it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's money in it, like...
I can shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Does the I look at the others and then like motion at my bag while holding the arc.
Um.
You
No, and then I put it
stealing
back
the
down.
honesty orc.
I put it back down.
Would that break the Honesty Orc rules? Stealing the Honesty Orc?
The honesty orc, as you pick him up, he the face animates and starts frowning.
I put it back down.
I put it back down.
And as you put it back down, he stops frowning, and he sort of like nods, like yeah.
Damn right.
Well, we should probably. It's time to search the place.
Yes, I helped search.
I'm going to be specifically looking for anything that resembles spell scrolls.
Okay, investigation checks.
It's time to not see anything.
It's so
investigation, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then that is a 15.
A 15. Okay, so you see a couple of drawers that might show you some spells. And it's sort of a grid of 9. So
Ooh.
roll me a d8.
Okay. 7.
A 7. So with a 7, you pull the 7th drawer out, and there is neatly laid out a little scroll with words and writing on it.
Okay. Do I know what spell that scroll might be
It
symbolizing?
has an enchanted ribbon on it that is sort of stamped in wax, and it has the number 3 on it.
The number 3?
Yeah, in gold wax.
Is there like a sort of like guide nearby?
It's a level 3 spell.
Now that you look at it, you can see on the side of this drawer it says spell scrolls refresh automatically. Prices are stamped on the scroll.
Wait, so that's 3 gold?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
But I don't know what it is!
Shit. Okay, Hal comes over to her and he looks at it, it's 3 gold. He's like, if you're waffling over 3 gold, I will lend you the money.
No, I'm gonna buy it. I'd like to know what spell it was before purchasing.
It's only 3 gold, just buy it.
Okay, fine.
How
I'm gonna buy it.
It's-
Give me just while we're doing this, give me a perception check.
Me?
Just
Hal,
everybody or?
Oh.
Me? Oh no.
because you've come up. Well, you've come up to the thing.
Ah, crit fail.
Oh, okay, then you don't see it at all. Morph?
Is it the honesty orc?
Yeah,
No, you give me can you give me a perception check as well?
we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
That's 18.
An 18. Okay, so with an 18, you see next to this spell scroll is a large glass box. Now, this glass box it's sort of soldered with gold around, gilded with gold, and the glass itself is actually black. And on the side there is a tiny little plaque, and it says "Box of Mysteries." 10 gold a go, and it will advance 10 gold for your first go, used to unlock an item.
Oh, yes, please.
What?
Okay,
I feel
so
like we all need to have a go.
when
You're gambling. It's early in the
so
morning.
Kane,
Absolutely.
if you take do you put your 3 gold into so there is a little coin slot between the both of these things.
I pay the 3 gold for the spell.
Okay, and as you pay the 3 gold, the box sort of pulses a little bit with light, and then the disintegrates, and you can take the scroll out.
Nice. Okie dokie.
Oh.
I remove the scroll and pocket it to
You
have
can
a
read
look
it.
at
You can read it
later.
now if you want.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
we're gonna be
it'll just
shopping.
take me.
So.
It'll take me.
It will take you. It will
months
take you an
find
hour
it.
to write it into your book, but you can still tell
Yeah.
what it is. So you open
Okay.
up. You open up the scroll, and you see it is a spell of blade warding.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good one.
So that will give you saving. It'll give you advantage on saving throws, I believe, against blades and such. And you can use it as a first level spell.
Ooh,
Nice.
Well,
nice.
It's a bard.
I,
Yeah, I
I
think
want to
we're
try
gonna do
the box of mysteries.
Okay.
What are the rules? Okay, so Hal, just what are you doing? What?
You
Let's
put-
try the box of mysteries.
What does it say? I
Something
didn't
comes up.
head.
What have you found?
Put in 10 gold.
Okay. You pop in 10 gold, and the box starts to play arcade music. which is very odd to you guys, and it starts to flash like rainbow pixel colours.
Wonderland round 3. Wonderland
Yeah.
round 3.
It absolutely sounds like Wonderland round 3. And when it's open, it sort of makes a da-da noise, and the front door pops open, and then you see there, on a hook, is a tiny little pouch.
Ooh. Take it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Open it.
You open up this pouch, and inside you see 2 small earrings. They are sort of dangly earrings, and they both have yellow gems in the middle of them. There is also
Shiny.
a slip of paper that comes out from this pouch, and it says, "Earrings of early warning. These earrings will alert you if anything unseen is about to attack."
Nice.
Wow.
That's
I
really
will
cool.
put those on.
Are
Definitely
your
worth
ears
10
already
gold.
pierced?
Well, there will be in a minute.
Oh my god,
The funny thing is like, you could have just clipped them to, like, your collar or something, but no, you just... Okay.
just
gonna
stab
fucking
your
wear them.
ears. Just do it.
Yeah.
Here, Penny, heat up this wire for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll do.
Cast ice. Get us an ice cube.
Yeah.
Now, seeing that, I ask, okay, do they have to be in a pair to work, or can you share those with someone else?
Don't know. We can try. I mean, we'll probably get stabbed by something invisible when they don't work.
But yeah, I can totally use prestidigitation to fucking heat up a wire and then create a small, like,
I
cold
was
area to fucking pierce his ears.
Penny, I appreciate it. I was joking.
Are you sure?
Tempting.
Are we all going to have a go at the box?
Yeah, roll the dice.
I want to go at the box.
Yeah, roll me a D100.
D100. Try and find one of those now. There we go.
Okay.
Ooh, I got 20.
A 20. Okay, so the box again does its sort of party trick, and it lights up, and it does da-da one more time, and this time you open it, and in there is a very neatly wrapped in shiny red wrapping paper, a kind of box. It is very it's only about 3 centimeters high, and about 10 centimeters sort of across. And it has a bow on the top, because it can.
Okay. Is there a sheet of paper with it that explains what this is?
If you open it,
Yeah, I'm going to open it.
okay, you wrap this wrapping paper.
screams.
You tear you tear at this wrapping paper, and inside you see a folded chessboard. And when you open it, the wooden carved pieces are sort of magnetically attached or magically attached, you're not sure yet, and out falls a little piece of paper. And it simply says Eternal Chessboard. Anyone playing chess with this set cannot win or lose a match. It simply goes on and on, no matter how many moves the players take.
Oh,
What?
Dope.
That's pretty cool.
that's
I now have, like-
I'm reading it over your shoulder, and I'm just like, that's very useful.
Sure about that?
Yes,
I mean,
that's useful.
you can have it if you would like it.
I will pay you 10 gold for that.
Why don't you just pay 10 gold and let Pane have whatever else comes out of the box?
I mean, that would also work.
I put 10 gold in the box.
Okay, roll me a
Fine, be that
D100.
way, but then I immediately hold out a hand for.
I hand over the chessboard.
Resh.
I've already got like a fucking pack of cards and
Oh, not Resh, sorry.
like some
Hal, give me
other,
a
like,
D100.
game stuff.
97.
97. Okay, you get a frog box. And
Frog box.
so this time when you open the box, it kind of smokes a little bit, as if there's been a smoke machine inside, and it's very, very dramatic. It's getting more dramatic as it goes on. And on the little podium is a tiny little wooden box. And it just has a frog engraved in the top of it. And when you open the box, there's a slip of paper inside, and you sort of close it pretty quickly. And it says frog box. If this box is left open near to a frog, it will be compelled to hop in and sit there happily. The frog will stay in the box without needing food, air, or water until instructed to hop out.
Oh, these are great.
I still want the chest. I look at it and I go, I still want the chest.
That's fine. I will take the frog box.
I take the chest set. Hey, Resh!
Time to write frog box in my inventory.
Resh.
Resh has been poking around the shop in the meantime, just looking for anything with druid lore in it.
Give me an investigation check.
Do
Okay.
we know Resh's full name? Like, do we know?
It's just Reshna.
Do we know that?
Oh,
No.
you guys know.
No.
It's 16.
16. Okay, so with that, you can see a couple of study books, like almost textbooks on druidic craft. These particular books detail the druid's craft of solace and the sort of nature druid kind of section. So working with animals mostly instead of plants.
Okay.
That sort of gives you some information about what these druids used to study, or at least the author of this book studies. I haven't made up a name for the author, so but yeah, that's what you see.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. Bard! You hear it from like 2 hours over. Bard, where are you? Where the hell did our Bard go?
Oh my gosh. Resh is eternally just like...
Maybe he's been eaten by the honest York.
I put another 10 gold in the box. I enjoy this thing.
It sees you trying to put another 10 gold in the box, and actually the coin slot shuts.
Oh, boo.
And you look at the box, and it says, and it's got a frowny face on it, and it says 1 go a day.
Oh.
Wait, then how the heck did... Okay.
Yeah. Resh, I need your help. Come over here and put 10 gold.
Resh sticks his head out for one of the owls. No. And goes back.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
You awesome things!
Yeah,
I will give you 5
I got a
gold.
frog box!
I will give you 5 gold to put 10 gold in the box.
How about you give me
one
10
up
gold
that.
to put 10 gold in the box?
I'll take that deal.
Are you going 5-5, or are you just gonna take this one for the team?
I'm gonna take this.
Okay, go for
Resh
it.
takes the gold and puts it into the mystery box.
Okay, the mystery box actually starts to play like a ditty that you haven't heard it make before. And it's slowly, the sort of pixels on the front of the face slowly fill up with green. And then as soon as it all fills up, it goes ding, 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 ding. And it opens, and there's actually like green spotlights on this one, on the podium, but it's a very normal looking piece of rope. And
Is it a rope trick rope?
as you take this rope out, it sort of starts to uncoil, and a little bit of folded paper falls out. And you pick this up off the floor, and you read what it says. It says, "The Eternal Rope. When cut, this rope can be cut in any one way, and one half of it will stay that length of rope, and the other half will continue to be an eternal piece of rope."
That's cool.
That's
Resh
very,
is going
very
to
cool.
hold on to this forever.
Yeah, you're gonna give me the gold back then. You don't have the
We
item.
made a deal. He's gonna run off this store if he has to. Resh does not have a lot of money, so...
Okay, with all of us, can I pick up the box?
The what?
I'm gonna try and steal this box.
Okay,
Well, the druids are gone.
sure. You try, and you sort of go and put both your hands on the side of the box. And what happens is that your hands get really hot really quickly. Not enough to burn you, but they do get very hot.
I let go of the box.
And the box has a frowny face and an image of a sort of twitching hand with a finger sort of ticking.
I go,
And then it winks at
That's
you
fair.
and turns off.
that's fair. Also, did anyone notice that it kind of has the same aesthetic going as the druid stone that talks to us?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. I close the jar.
So Rush is just looking around. And it's like, if these druids don't exist anymore, then who's taking care of the shop?
Well, that's why I think we should take the honesty orc. If I'm being honest.
I'm not sure it's that kind of honesty.
I just think having a jar that doesn't let people take stuff out of it that aren't supposed to is useful to have.
I mean, yes, but it also looks pretty heavy.
Can I go and see if I can find the ledger again?
Yeah?
See if it's changed at all?
If it has Hane's purchase written in it, maybe?
Oh yeah, does it have
And that would be
anything
cool if
in
it was a self-updating ledger.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So you go and find it because you know exactly where it is. And
Yeah.
as you said, it is in fact a self-updating ledger. This shop
Oh,
seems to be
nice.
able to run completely by itself without any druidic influence, which is very weird because you think that this seemed to be quite a cornerstone of druidic trade, but apparently it's just empty.
Because they're all dead. Okay, Hal is gonna go and I guess he looks at Resh. He's like, "Did you see anything like travel supplies, things like that?" So did you see anything in the aisles,
He did not.
Resh? Okay.
He did not. You can
Hal's-
just go to your local like Quickie Mart in Solace and find these things.
Oh no! He doesn't want mundane travel supplies. Like things that he wants is like a water skin that doesn't run out, or like any sort of food, water, good berries.
Okay,
things
so,
like
like,
that.
He
water
wants
skins-
some legendary magic
Yeah,
items.
water skins that don't run out are like 1,000 Gs. Just so you know.
He wants things like good berries, like ready-made good berries and stuff like that. Just anything that would help survival in a harsh environment like a desert.
Oh, sure, you find some half-eaten go bars.
I do not take those.
Oh, is this a Nutri-Grain bar?
It's a Luna bar.
Yeah, there's some Slim Fast like milkshakes in cans.
That's not what I want.
Couple of tins of Spam.
Yeah, some Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah. I think I'm also going to continue to poke around.
Yeah.
We've turned this into a shopping episode.
It's like there has to be something keeping this running. It doesn't
Yeah.
Yeah, magic.
by itself.
Magic.
Somebody had to create this. If the druids don't exist anymore, they
Druids.
existed to create this. So somebody still exists in charge of this.
Other druids. You're a druid. Are you a druid or a bard? I'm still confused. Are you a druid or a bard?
I perform as a bard.
He's a
I am
bard.
a druid.
He's a bard.
It's definitely
He's a bard.
Okay, so as you're poking around, before you manage to get any kind of interest, you actually start to hear a commotion go on outside.
I go outside.
Okay, give me
Yeah.
2
I
seconds.
peek outside. There's peeks outside.
I don't. I just go outside.
I send the hawk. Yeah.
So you
What my
actually,
hawk eyes see.
as you go outside, you see
Change.
the Eastern performers come up, and there are about 2 of them running very, very quickly, and around the corner you see 8 bandits chasing them.
Oh.
And the female, the sort of smaller female, she's dark-skinned, dark hair, she runs up to you and just sort of straight past you and grabs Resh and uses him as a shield as the bandits come up to you. Now,
I get. Oh no! I get the Resh and attack my
Now,
bard.
what is
Resh
it?
hasn't-
What is it that you say? What is it that you say when you pull Resh in front of you, Isra?
Please help. That's it.
Okay, so this the pretty lady grabs the bard, hides behind him.
Yeah.
You see the bandits? Hal immediately between Resh and the bandits. Immediately.
So there we go. And the bandits run up to you, and the lead, the chief, you can see goes, "Oi, is that any of your business? Let me have the pretty little lady, and we'll be on our way."
I'm gonna roll intimidation with. Come on. I'm gonna roll intimidation. It is 16. Fuck right off with that. And I draw my axe.
So is that what you
That's what I say. Yeah.
fuck right up with?
With a 16.
Oi, mate. Well, it's not your problem. and I think we are gonna have to come to blows if you ain't gonna have us let us have that pretty lady.
I pull out my war pick as well. It's like, come at me then.
It's time to roll initiative.
Yay!
Right, so Isra.
I'm on hawk.
Oh.
So,
What I want you to do, Isra,
Orphan's still inside.
have you got your character sheet?
No, I came out as well.
Okay, I'll just pick the fight with like 8 bandits. Just go, fighty.
I got a whole 7.
You got a whole 7. Wow.
First.
16 initiative.
Give me 2 secs.
Yeah,
I think that's like the first over 10 initiative we've ever had.
High fives, team. Oh wait, we already did that. So glad I did that. I think the feat gives me the plus 8 too, which would be nice.
Okay, Isra, do you have your character sheet up?
I do.
Okay, roll me a d20. Now, to do that in the chat, go down to Dungeons and Dragons and Dorks Oh My channel, and then type hashtag roll, and then d20 with a space in between the roll. Oh, as it.
1d20. Hashtag roll 1d20.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Perfect.
I didn't sleep very much.
That's okay.
That's okay. Neither did I.
Neither did I. We're all sleeping
No.
together.
That's why Alex is gonna fight.
Like that.
Yeah, but without the dot.
Yeah.
Oh,
How many
1d20.
bandits are we fighting? I love the music.
Okay, so you got a 10. Right, so anyone 20 plus?
Of course
No,
not.
No,
okay.
just double checking. And just anyone 15 to 20. 16.
I got 17. I
Okay.
don't know
18, 17, 16. Good.
You got
how.
18. How?
No, I got 16. So Resh got 18.
Okay, cool.
Hannah got 17. I got 16.
Morph?
7.
Seb, lovely. And
That's good. We love you. It's okay.
Great.
Do you want me to roll for my lucky bird?
yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Bird goes to you.
I thought the bird went with you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so never mind then.
Okay.
The bird has its own separate initiative.
Nah, the bird can delay its turn and be with you. It loves you.
Okay,
The bird has a better initiative than me.
so it turns out the first group of bandits goes first. There are quite a few, and they are going to. So who's in front of the girl? It's Hal. Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So they're going to go for Hal, and they are going to. Hang on, 2 secs. Ooh, up we go.
I not only yelled at them and taunted them, so yeah, they better go after me.
Okay, so we have first one does 19 to hit. So this group does 19 to hit in total.
Nice.
And
Yeah, they hit.
yeah, that's cool.
Actually, give me 2 seconds. I'm just flipping madly through trying to find fighter. Oh, where are my maneuvers?
If you have 19 AC, that's all.
No, not that. But I have abilities as my maneuvers that I have marked down because that's my class. I just need to. My book is broken. I don't want tiefling. I want fighter.
Yes, let's see what happens when I do this.
Well, because I have a maneuver that can. Gee, I hate this book. It's so broken. Archer fighter, there it is. Jeez, sorry guys, I should have had it up earlier. Spirit that goes action turn faint, choosing one creature. No, not that one. No, okay, I did not take the one that reduces an attack.
Okay.
Back me. Sorry,
So-
I'm sorry.
They do. Eight damage altogether. The 3 of them with their scimitars. They sort of all come at you simultaneously and do 8 slashing damage before they disperse.
Nice, so I'm assuming that because, how many of them
3.
attack me?
3.
3? I assume that I am moving, but yeah, I do get nicked and cut up.
You do
That's
get nicked
okay.
and cut up, but as they retreat backwards, you get attack of opportunities on all of them. So,
On all of them?
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Wow.
you have a large axe. So I'm gonna let you do sweeping damage.
Okay, oops. The first one, my attack is lucky. It's been a couple weeks, guys. 15.
Yeah,
Hit.
that hits. Keep going.
Excellent. 18. That
Yeah.
hits.
Weirdly, no. Yeah, that hits.
13.
Yep,
That
so
hit?
you hit all of them. Roll
Fuck yeah.
damage for me.
Fuck yeah. And that's with me two-handed swing my axe. He just straight drops the war pick. He just straight drops it.
Yeah.
To do this. This is a D10. D10. That's D12. D10. D10. Do you want me to roll 3 times or just once?
Just the once.
10 plus 2. That's 12 damage each one.
Okay, wow. So you you cripple immediately the first 3 with your axe. Like, they're just sort of rolling on the floor, groaning a little bit.
Hang on. You can one's to frighten the target. I am gonna shout. I'm gonna shout at the guy right in front of me. Whichever one. I spoke first.
That was the captain. He didn't move.
Oh, you didn't move?
No.
I didn't miss.
He had his cronies to attack.
Oh, that sucks.
And as he sees these guys go down, he's like, "Oh, what do you think you guys playing at?"
Yeah. So basically, I crippled these 2, and I'm just like, did I fucking stutter?
Oh my god, there's a surprise Tom. Hi, Tom.
Hey, it's a Tom. There you go. I'm done. I'm good.
Okay.
Actually, that wasn't even my turn.
Yeah. And it's Rush's
Go
go,
for it.
actually.
Okay, so Rush is going to cast Entangle the entire lot of them.
So there are 2 groups left now. There are 3 of the other smaller looking bandits, and then there's the captain and there's 1 bandit by him.
Which one's closer to me?
Probably the second group of smaller looking bandits.
Okay, then I'm gonna aim at them.
Okay, is that a save?
It is a save, DC.
Is that Dex?
Spells.
They roll a nat 20, I'm afraid, so they're like super fucking agile, and unfortunately they get away.
Damn it, okay.
Anything else? Do you have any bonus actions?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, then it goes to Panic.
Excellent. Okay, so behind where the
Okay.
behind where the what's it called, where the bandits are.
Yeah.
I would like to cast Snillock's Snowball Swarm, so all creatures in a 5-foot radius
Yeah.
take 3d6 damage.
Okay, is that a save?
No, it is not. I roll an attack.
Okay.
An attack, which I barely ever have to do, so I can't do it.
Are you supposed to go around
No, I'm casting it because I can cast it within 90 feet, so I'm casting it far away enough that you're not in the 5-foot radius.
Thank you.
That is a 20.
Oh, well,
Not a
yeah.
natural one,
Yeah.
but a 20.
Yeah, I think that would do it. Yeah, okay, roll your damage.
3d6. Oh, not too bad. That is, they each take 10 damage.
Okay, so 2 of them are looking a lot worse for wear, but the one in the middle is kind of... He's pretty big and brawny, and he's doing alright. Okay, so now it's time for... the captain looks around and he's like, alright, I've had enough of this, and he goes after you, Pane. As he does...
I'm still inside the store.
The captain isn't.
Yes, no, but I'm still inside the store.
Oh! Well, fine then.
Within 90 feet of me.
And I'm still right in front of you.
Oh, okay, right. Hal, he goes for you then. Okay, so he's gonna chuck. Who can he see? Is Morthal out?
He hits. So I am.
Morthal. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, he goes out to Hal, and he.
Pass me. Yeah.
Huh?
You have to.
Yeah.
pass
So
me.
he's gonna go to attack you. First one is 15.
Okay. That doesn't hit.
Okay. Second one is a nat 20. Ooh.
That's really good.
Shit.
And then the last one is a 6. So he tries to get a couple of blows off on you, and what happens is he manages to get... He misses the first one with the scimitar. The second one does in fact get you, so that is...
Oh yeah, hard across the shoulder.
So that is 13 damage with the scimitar.
Decent, yeah.
And then he tries to and uppercut, dagger stab you, but he doesn't quite get there as you sort of deflect, and that's what he does. And this he jumps back, but because he's roguish, he does not. You do not get an attack of opportunity on him.
That's okay.
The second bandit, as his captain is jumping away, makes another attack on you. So he does a natural 1. So he just falls on his face. So never mind him. He's all out. And it is Hal, your turn.
Ooh, ha 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 ha. Good. Okay, so two-handed attack. I'm just gonna go right at the captain then.
Okay. Give me an attack.
Oh, I assume the captain is who's close? Oh no, the guy who.
Yeah, the smaller one is closer
like
because the captain disengaged.
Is he prone?
Yeah. Let's say he is prone.
Advantage attack on that guy then.
Yeah, go for it.
Shit, I'm rolling health. 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And where's my D10? It is two-handed swing with the axe for 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, well, he's super not happy about that, but he's still alive.
I like put my foot on him. No, I don't, because until like back up and I don't.
And as all of this is happening, as she sees that you're kind of actually good at handling yourself, the woman comes out from behind you, Resh and Hal, and does an attack herself. Now, the way this works is, Isra, you pick someone that you want to hit, and then you tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what you have to do in order to hit them.
And I have 3 first level spells. Are any of those attacks?
So your first level spells are Compel Duel, Gust, and what else did I give you?
Shield.
Shield. So Shield is a bonus action, and you can cast that on yourself to give yourself +1 to AC for the next round. But none of those are necessarily attacks. You should have,
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I put it in. Yeah, I gave you 2 weapons.
You cast
dagger and a long sword.
Mm-hmm.
I have an attack bonus of 3 on the dagger.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, you're more than
use
welcome
that.
to attack with the dagger, and who would you like to attack?
You can attack the guy who's on the ground that I just hit.
Rush.
What?
Don't attack Resh. Please don't attack Resh.
I mean, and as I do it, I say, take me to your leader.
What?
What?
That's literally what just left Rush's mouth. One leader!
Amazing.
Al doesn't look over his shoulder, he's stuck at his axe, he's like, that would be me!
I'm sticking to it. I'm attacking Rush.
What? I feel like we should have talked about this before we started playing the game. So this, you can totally attack Resh if you want, but this is not what I had in mind for this character.
Oh, sorry.
You're gonna
That's
get
alright.
energy from everyone else.
Oh.
Oh no, this is gonna be the shortest sub ever.
You can. So what we can do is we can retcon it. You can say I'm totally just joking, and then you go after the bandit.
Okay, we'll do that.
Attack Rash.
And then you're like, psych!
Yeah.
No.
It's up to you, so.
If you do it that way, yeah, it's like, you can definitely threaten him and say if you can do your power response, that would be me and to lie. And then, or you can do like a psych out and then cast a magic spell or something. Or if you fuck with Resh though, like just do that psych, Hal will appreciate. Hal's nice.
Pick someone. Just attack someone.
I'm attacking the guy on the ground,
Okay,
but I'm
so-
waving my dagger dangerously at Resh.
Okay,
because I want his
so
blows and I'm
what I
jealous.
need you to do is roll that d20 again.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you have plenty of movement to get to him, I think.
She can get to him, no problem. Just roll your d20 in the Dungeons and Dragons channel.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oops, wrong channel. I took the bar. Okay.
Same. Cool.
Okay, a 16. And you get +3 to that, so that becomes a 19. So you definitely hit this guy, and then we need you to roll for damage. So whatever your dagger says is your damage. So I think it's 1d4.
Whatever my what says?
Your dagger
1d4,
damage.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
So-
And then it says 1d4 plus 3.
So there we go.
Nice.
Roll. So you do the same thing. You hashtag roll, and then 1d4, and then you literally just type +3 afterwards.
Okay.
There we go. So you got 4 damage on this guy, and he's like really not looking great right now at all. He kind of yells, like, "Oh man, why'd you gotta do that?" While he's on the floor. And it is the second guy's turn, because there were 2 of you running, and Alina, it's your brother Malik who has a very handy scimitar, but kind of ran off. Because he didn't realise that you'd stuck with these guys. And so he's actually a sort of 60 foot ahead or behind, depending on where you're looking, and he goes, "Ah, shit!" And you hear him running back, but he only gets about halfway before it becomes the next bandit's turn. And they are going to go after Morph. They're going to go. And they go
Try it.
7, and they all... Oh, 16. Does that hit?
It is.
Okay, well, they all miss. You were just dodging shit today, my guy. And then it's your go. It's Morph's go.
Okay, I'm going to slam the guys who just tried to attack me.
Okay, go for it.
17 plus 5 to hit.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
And, I'll be... 3. Oh, 4 damage.
Oh, 4 damage. Well, with the 4
Minimum
damage, you managed to get 2 of them down. Those guys are completely on the floor and they're sort of biting the dust at the moment. The other guy looks a little bit woozy, but then stands up tall again, so he's okay. And then with that, we're back to Resh.
Well, he's gonna do something. He's gonna summon a flame blade.
Go for it.
He's gonna take
Jesus Christ.
It's just like my favorite thing right now.
Things are escalating.
Like, if nothing else, this will at least intimidate them more. So, manifest this, like, flaming sword. And, let's see, which one's closest to me? Hold on.
Probably the dude who just attacked Morph and, like, staggered.
Yeah.
So let's take advantage of that. And destroy him.
Is it a save or an attack?
It is an attack, I just need to get freaking dice out. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Okay.
Murder time.
I hit a lot of dice.
Yeah, it's because I have to get all of the dice. I don't have enough dice.
What's the damage on this thing?
So, it says, 3d6 plus 1d6 per spell level of 5
Jesus.
fire damage.
Okay.
So,
Holy shit.
it is ready to crash.
Wait, what are you casting it as? A level 3?
I guess so. It's a second level spell.
Okay, you're casting it at second level though, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you only roll the 3d6.
Yeah, 3d6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you roll it higher than that, you add an extra
Yeah.
d6 for each level.
Which is still potentially 8.
Yeah, that's still a shit ton.
Oh yeah, you don't have level 2 spell slots yet.
Yeah, no, I don't. Okay, so...
3d6, go.
Let's see what this is.
Burn.
Okay,
It
that
hurts.
is... Oh wow, okay. 14.
14. And, sorry, what was your attack roll?
Oh, right, I need to do that.
Yeah,
Just-
make sure you actually hit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if I actually hit him first. Oh, for fuck's sake, really?
Oh no.
No.
But you scared
A
the
9.
shit out of him.
Yeah, so you start summoning this sword, but it doesn't quite make it out of the ethereal plane, and so it sort of stutters behind, and you have to recoup before you can try it again. It is now Pane's turn.
Okay. How far away is the guy who's like trying to book it away from all of us?
It's the second Eastern person you saw with this woman, and he wasn't paying attention, so he ran back too far, and now he's just realised his sister is in battle, and he's running back to help out.
Okay, so I thought you were How many bandits are left?
Banditos. So we have one in the second group. All of the first group are dead or unconscious, whatever you want. There's one guy on the floor and the bandit captain still.
Okay, I'm going to target the. I'm gonna step outside.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah, that would be a sensible decision.
and I am going to cast Scorching Ray at the bandit captain.
Okay. Is that a save or a threat?
1 minute, let me double check. Thing. It's attack, so
Okay.
I roll. Yeah, so it's 3 rays of fire, and I need to make an attack roll for each one. So, first one misses, that was a 9.
Yeah, that misses.
Second one is a 16.
That hits.
Excellent. And then the third one is a 17.
That also hits.
Okay, brilliant. So let's roll 2d6. So, well, the second one, the first one that hits is 8,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is also 8.
Okay, so that's 16. So we're on. Okie dokie. Yeah, he kind of yells as he gets hit by blasting, searing scorches of light. But he just looks more pissed off now. And it is his turn. The one that's on the floor is going to spend his turn getting up, and the captain is going to go back after Hal because he's who he can see, and manages. Not that one. Definitely that one. And definitely not that one. So he does the same thing again. He manages. It seems that his second scimitar is his lucky scimitar, and he does 12, 15 points of damage with his second lucky scimitar. And as he goes, he sort of brings it down really harsh, and he goes, "How'd you like that? Just give us the girl."
I will admit that when that one comes down, he dodges, you guys see how, sort of half parry the first one, and then just takes it really hard across the back with the second one?
Yeah.
And then kind of staggers away from the third one, and when he tries to reply, his mouth is very bloody. He's hurting. I have 9 HP left.
Oh!
So, yeah.
Okay, well, Hal, it is your go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna attack him.
Go for
Say,
it.
I like it like this, and then oh no, that's only a 7
No,
to hit.
no, I'm sorry.
Riff.
Bonus, huh? Well, I can't bonus action because I'm attacking that with one hand, so I don't have a bonus action. I didn't hit. Oh, I will. Oh, wait, I will do. As a bonus action, I will use fainting attack against the most superiority die to use bonus action. To faint, choosing one creature within 5 feet of you. You have advantage on your next attack roll.
Okay.
So superiority die. I think I don't roll the die. I just. Oh, I've speared it to attack damage. So that's for next turn if he's still standing.
Sure.
Basically, he sort of like he lifts his axe and kind of fades with his attack, which is part of why it misses so badly.
Okay.
Because he's overcompensating. And there's like something about him that's like a little bit of magic, not enough, and then that's it. My turn.
Okay, Alina, it is your turn.
I have 9 HP.
I run up to Hal, put myself between him and the man, because I can see he's hurting so badly. And I
What are you doing, lady?
And I attack the man again.
Okay, dagger or longsword?
Ooh. I'm going to save you. My, how the tables have turned.
Save? What?
Okay, so yeah,
Attack him.
attack him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Ooh, okay, so you talk a big game, but unfortunately you do not walk the walk. You kind of sort of hold your sword threateningly, like you haven't had quite enough experience with it yet. And he looks at you and sort of goes, huh, just give it back. Just give it back, mate. And he sort of attempts to lunge at you. However, by the time he does, your brother, Malik, has run right past and parries him. And Malik turns to you, Alina, and goes, why the hell did you stop here? And then it is suddenly the second bandits group again, and they're going to attack Malik, because they have just seen him, and they kind of dick on him a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mal. You're like, okay.
No.
They sort of slash him because he was not paying attention.
No!
But he sort of takes it like a champ.
They dick him and he takes it like a champ?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they do. And he sort of gives you guys, he sort of like staggers for a little bit, but gives you guys a thumbs up. And then it's Resh's turn. Oh wait, no, it's Morth's. It's Morth's turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
I walk up to Hal, put my hand on him, and cast Cure Wounds.
There we go.
Second level.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So you heal 16 health.
Woof!
Oh, that feels so much better. He
You're
kind of like.
welcome.
That's the wrong number. Wait, I feel 16, so back it. Okay, cool. I feel better.
Yeah, that is all I can do.
As you do that, I kind of like, I nod at the twin siblings. Like, what race are they? Can I tell?
They are human, yeah. Although with your, like, you know, kind of investigation skills, maybe they're dragons. You don't know. Yeah, they're dark-skinned humans, and you've seen these are the kind of humans that you see hailing from the eastern desert. So you're quite familiar.
Yeah, it's like I look at Hal and then I kind of nod at them, like, what the hell? Getting between me and the big guy. Okay, cool. And then, but it's
Do you like grab her and push her back?
That's not my turn. I can't move.
Oh, okay.
If you'll let me, then yeah.
I will when it's your turn. It's Resh's go at the moment.
It's not my turn. It's Resh's turn.
Well, at this point, since there's a mob already existing on them, we're gonna try and tangle this cluster.
Yeah, they have kind of the three remaining bandits have clustered together.
So let's go for it. So they need a strength test check against my spells.
Okay, so they get a 17.
Oh, I beat it. It's an 18.
Ooh, okay, there we go. Yeah, so they are currently entangled, and they need to perform strength checks to get out of that on their turn.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, it is Penny. Your go.
Cool.
Keep in mind that all of the bandits and Hal and Morph and Alina and Malik are now in melee.
Please no
Okay.
turn.
I
Remembers the flame that killed my pixie bed.
Thunderwave do not interact.
I mean, I make no promises. No. I am going to, in that case, then I am going to use magic missile on one of the bandits.
Yeah, you've been forgetting about your bird as well.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool. Okay, so magic missile. Go for it.
Okey-dokey.
Which one are you going for?
Alright,
The leader, the one that's almost dead, or the one that's sort of half alright?
I'm going to go for the one that is almost dead.
Okay, well that one will probably only need one of your missiles, just so you know.
Okay, cool. I'll just aim one of the missiles at him and two at the other guy who's not the leader.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's make an attack roll. Math. 23 to hit.
Yeah, those all hit.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, and it's 1d4. I've not actually used magic. Okay. The first one is 5.
5. So you hit this one that's almost has just got off the ground, and you sort of smack him right in the face, and he looks up to the sky and he goes, "Why, God, have you forsaken me?" And he falls to the ground and collapses. Your next 2 magic missiles.
Yeah. That is 3
Okay.
and a 5.
3 and a
So
5.
8.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking a bit worse for wear. This big guy who's not the leader anymore. And then it is the captain's go. He is going to go after Morphle. For like 7, so never mind. Oh wait, that's the first one. Next one is also not great. What's your AC?
18.
Yeah, you completely do not get hit by anything by him, and he's really mad about it at the moment. And it is Howl's go.
Okay, because I'm not. What I want to do is try to, because he's going after Morph, who's next speedy. I'm gonna step away and around because he's disengaged me to attack Morph, and try to attack his flank.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Bob, no.
Can I get advantage on that?
I will give you +2 to
You're
hit.
not a rogue.
Oh, if I'm flanking and he's fighting someone else? Oh yeah, that's a sneak attack, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
That's rogue.
Alright,
I'm thinking of like Pathfinder.
Sorry. Well, I don't actually know how combat works. Oh, but I think I might get it. That's a +4 to hit. That's 18.
Yeah, that hits. Give me a damage.
Yeah. The green one. I like the green set. That is. Oh, that's 2. That is 7 damage.
7 damage. Okie dokie.
And with that, I'm going to use menacing attack.
Mhm.
It is. Oh, and I get to add my D8 to that damage. Sorry, I forgot.
That's fine.
Because of the. So that's another 3 damage.
Okay.
And fainting attack. Menacing attack. When you hit a creature with a spend 1 more superiority die to frighten the target. Add the superiority die to the damage roll. The target must make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
On a failed save, it is frightened until the end of your next turn. But what is my spell?
That's the ultimate question.
It's like I kind of want to say it's charisma, but I don't think that's fair. I don't think it is. What is the fighter's DC? Maneuver DC. Okay. Oh, okay. It is. No, it is 8 plus proficiency bonus plus strength of dex. So that would be 12, I believe.
So he gets a 15 on his wisdom save.
Yeah.
So he looks vaguely intimidated, but not enough to move back anymore.
But I only got 1 more damage. So it was 11 damage plus wisdom save.
Okay.
And he passed.
Yeah, he did. Okay, and actually,
Oh wait, failed save? Wait.
It's a wisdom save.
Yeah, on a failed save, it is frightened of you until the end of your next turn. So what happens if they... Oh, it does not take that extra point of damage.
Okay. Well, even so, with that, he sees like his sort of second in command, the big burly guy, and he's like, "It's all right. It's not worth this. We'll get it back later." And they disengage. And you have sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half unconscious people around, like sprawled bandits in like red neckerchiefs and such, all around you. And congratulations, that is the combat over for now. You are now out of initiative.
Out of combat. Yay!
And so, what you gonna say?
Cool. I wiped some of the blood off of me because I'm bloody. I just sort of like take stock of the party. Like that's the first thing I do. You see how like not necessarily doing a head count, but like checking, like trying to make eye contact with each person. Like everybody's okay.
Yeah.
You are the most hurt out of all of us.
Exactly.
Yes, but that's my job to get that hurt. Ow.
I use prestidigitation to help, like, clean you off.
Just also cast the cure wounds.
Ooh, yes, please.
Okay, let me get a...
I did my job. And I have used 2 superiority die. So how many do I have? Do I have any more?
I only got 12.
12 more health. Well done.
Yeah. That
That's
brings
like
me...
maxed out.
Yeah, I'm max. I'm back at 37. I feel good. So like he was... class feature superiority die. How many do I have?
So, as
3.
you're all sort of getting to your senses a bit, Malik turns to Alina, and you don't know their names yet, until Malik sort of shouts, "Alina, what were you thinking?"
I don't know. Right now I'm thinking, these people are very strange. How did you heal him?
Why were they chasing you?
Question for a question.
I look at Alina and I'm like, magic.
She, Alina,
That's
you
real?
You do know what magic is.
You know
Magic
that.
exists.
Okay, cool.
You can cast it.
I get that. Okay. Mister, how tall is Alina?
Where's my character sheet?
How would you
I think
describe
I'm
her?
very small. I think I'm small.
Oh shit, you're my height.
Yeah, so small.
Oh wait, no, I'm tall for a half elf. Never mind, I'm actually. Yeah, Hal just is like, use magic. Yes, magic. Thing that. Why are you running through town chased by bandits? Are we done here?
There's a lot of questions. Let's start off with, who are you guys?
So, and Malik sort of sighs and he's like, we are merchants from the east, and Alina,
Merchants.
why must you be like this? And he sort of has this look on his face, like Malik is a sort of tall, sort of very clean cut young man in his sort of mid 20s, late mid 20s, and he is quite built. And doesn't look very merchant-like. Alina herself is actually dressed in very elaborate sort of cloths and fabric, and she's wearing what looks like a dancing skirt, and she's sort of wearing jewels and bangles all over, and again does not look particularly merchant-like.
Although I do have gold.
Yes.
That tingles when I walk under my skirt.
At this point, you guys can't tell if that's actual gold coins or all of her jewelry. And Malik turns to you guys and he goes, Thank you so much for keeping my sister out of trouble. I don't really know what to. You know what? No, this is not my problem anymore. And he walks off back into the center of town.
Malik, come back! Come on, don't be like that.
No, Alina, this is the last time. You do this every town. I'm telling Father, and you will not be allowed to come with us anymore.
You two have to explain to the militia what just happened here. Excuse me, there are 6 people laying on the dust.
They're not dead, it's fine, probably. I don't know, my brother's a doctor, he'll be fine. I'll call the Hamash.
See if they are dead.
Yeah, you can give me a perception check.
Ooh. 12.
Oh, it's fine. You can see that the one that cursed God is still, like, muttering under his breath. The other 5 are still breathing. They just don't want to move
Okay.
in case they get hit again.
It's still alive. There's no problem. It's still alive. There's no problem.
Do they have any gold?
Well, not anymore.
And that's what Alina says,
I
and
see.
there we go. She has stolen gold from these bandits.
I see. You six can fuck off now if you like.
Yeah.
And they sort of like
Unless you want to be cut.
scramble upwards, and they just sort of yell as they run off, very sort of caricature-like, that they're stumbling over each other to get away from you guys.
The crazy people.
Yeah.
I retrieved my war pick off the ground. Because I dropped it to save the action. And like you see me like brushing the head off of it, like, yeah, it's bloody, but I'm brushing the head off the pick, and I'm just like, sorry.
Sorry, baby.
I tap Hal on the shoulder, and I'm
I
just
still love
like,
you.
I tap Hal on the shoulder. Do you want me to clean your axe? Do you want me to clean it?
My pick or my axe? You can clean the axe. I'm still shine axe. There you go. Don't hurt yourself with it.
I clean the axe with precipitation. It's amazing how versatile that spell is.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love cantrips.
And so with this, Alina, do you choose to follow your brother, or what are you doing?
No, Alina looks after her brother, annoyed but also slightly longing, and she's wringing her hands. And there's especially on one ring, there's the ring on her hand, and she keeps playing with it as she looks after her brother and all of the men stumbling off.
Okay. Oh man. I don't know what I want to do. Hal doesn't know what he wants. She's like looking at her. Do I want to be nice? Do I want to walk away? Do I want to be nice? She's very pretty. Here's a
I did stab a man and try to save you, you know. It's only fair.
About that and how
It's time for Hal to add to his travelling orphanage of strays.
about that, and he looks at her. He's like, "Look at my armor. Look at your armor. Now, again, look at my armor. Look at your armor."
At this point, Alina's like, "What armor?" She gestures to herself.
Yes, that is exactly my point. Why would you pull me out of the way? That's a very, very bad tactic. Please don't ever do that again.
You're just lecturing this girl in the middle of the road.
Yes. You don't have to take this lecture. He is lecturing you. You don't have to.
You could just walk away.
No, as I'm being lectured, as Alina's being lectured, her hands get even more, she starts wringing them a little bit more. But then, all of a sudden, she does a beautiful curtsy and just says, "Thank you."
I was taken back by that.
It's very graceful, the curtsy, something that you don't often see in your little traveling band.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice. Hal, for reference, is he is actually Middle Eastern. Like that's what I had in mind.
Yeah.
So he would be lighter than the two of them. I'm gonna call them twins. They're not twins, though.
No.
Are they twins?
No, Malik is a
Siblings.
good sort of 3 years older than Alina.
Okay, so his Hal, yeah. But he's obviously like he's roughed up. He has not shaved. He probably is. I don't know what his breath is like today, but he's just completely he's taken aback by that. But he's like, oh, okay then. Yeah. You're welcome.
He knows from a lot of Middle Eastern people in this map that usually they just sort of bicker and argue, and it's not even like a point of rudeness, it's just what they do. And it was kind of interesting for him to come to the West, and immediately everyone has so many manners that he just does not know how to deal with, so he doesn't.
I bet he loves Pane.
Hal does love Pane.
He every
fine.
time you try and do something bureaucratically, he dies inside of it.
Nice. Okay, he kind of makes an awkward like salute sort of thing. Like he doesn't know if it's a salute or to bow, and he's like, Khalid, I'm Hal. These are my companions who you ran behind.
Wonderful to meet you,
Do
Alina.
Rash and I come out of the shop?
Finally!
I'm out of the shop.
you
Rash
were
is
out
still in
here.
the shop.
Oh, okay. Rush is like, what is Rush doing? Oh my gosh.
There were just
Watching
these
the
two,
entire exchange,
these two
just like,
people like
like,
hiding in the
continues to-
shop.
No, Rush has just been standing there watching this entire exchange. You know, this might as well happen.
Because no one else goes to introduce themselves and like awkward, like
Actually,
pat Martha on the
Resh.
shoulder.
Resh, give me an insight check.
Okay. See. No, I have. Okay. 18.
You actually recognize this woman.
Oh.
In your time touring with the troupe, you would occasionally meet up with caravans and clans of Middle Easterners that were incredibly good traders and dancers. You recognize this woman from about 5 years ago, when you were
Wow.
traveling the desert. She has lost a lot of her baby fat and has become a lot more defined, but you kind of recognize her. You wouldn't have been able to see it if you didn't know that she was from a merchant caravan.
Oh. Okay.
5 years, wow. You got a good memory.
He remembers the colours more than he does the people. They are all dressed in very vibrant oranges and reds and yellows and pinks, which is something you do not see so much in the West.
Yeah.
Do I know anything beyond the fact that she was from Caravan?
So seeing Malik and Alina together, you know that, and Hal kind of knows this too, that because of the changing natures of the deserts, you don't get to stay in one place for very long. So you know that they are sort of traveling caravans, and most families have a clan name. You're also aware that a lot of clans have a high sort of patriarch, and most of the younglings are siblings. And there are sort of many mothers, one husband kind of deal. And whenever that sort of changes around, whenever the husband passes on, before the next sort of married couple comes to the top, the matriarch takes the place of her husband until such time that she passes on and goes back. So it's a very sort of family-oriented system, and a lot of the clans know each other and have very specific trades, like wares that they sell, as to not step on other clans' toes. So you know that the clans with these colours are mostly performers.
Okay, mostly performers. I don't know if it's Millie cutting out or my internet is going weird, but
No, I
I got
should.
it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
mostly performers. See, now I want to see. Oh well, I'm gonna world build later. Okay, so I've introduced Morth, and so I've clapped you on the shoulder, Martin, and I've been like, "This is Morthal."
Alright.
This is Morthal, he's an idiot.
I don't say that.
He
He
likes
healed
eating
me.
berries.
No, that's
Berries.
no.
They
Hey,
were really good.
hey. Oh, okay. Well, if you're gonna go along with it, then never mind.
That's alright, I couldn't find a berry icon to hold in your hand, so instead there's just a light green coin.
He's gonna eat the coin. He's gonna eat the coin. The whole campaign is just Morth putting things in his mouth that he shouldn't.
Put that down,
Oh
so help
my.
me! So help me!
Oh my.
And that's the last time I get healed.
Yeah. How about healing?
I'm cut off. And that one behind me is the youngling. I point at Penny.
Rumbling.
Because no one's introducing themselves.
My name is Penny. Nice to meet you.
Okay, and with that, what is it that you guys are going to try and do now?
Well, Rush would still like to know why she was being chased.
Yeah,
Let's try asking.
how much did you actually steal from those guys?
Well, I can't really tell you. And as she moves, as Alina moves, you hear even more ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. And there's just too much of it for it just to be her jewelry. I mean, she does have quite a few bangles on, but you're hearing the sound of pure gold hitting up against each other. And so she kind of looks at you all and...
Okay. How about we not have this conversation in the middle of the street where there was just a big fight?
Huh?
Where is your caravan parked? Where are you staked out?
Parked.
Where is your caravan staked? Where's your pavilion?
Well, I don't think we should go there either.
Pub.
Pub! I love
No.
beer.
Well, actually, yeah, but no.
It's fine, we'll have water.
Oh wait, yeah, you guys are all hungover and stinky.
I'm not.
For more
I mean, not stinky, but we're definitely hungover.
Okay,
Well, I feel pretty good after the fight, honestly. I feel like my blood's pumping, I've been healed up.
That's what he's talking now.
okay, well, I'm just gonna do a quick 5-minute break. I will put the tavern. You've just made your way into the tavern, and I'll go on a break. And shouldn't be long. Be back in 5.
Okay.
Alright.
Just stolen like 500 gold or some bandits.
You might want to buy some velvet coin pouches to stop the jingle jangle.
Yeah.
Or you might want to actually just
Divvy
not
it up.
steal the gold in the first place.
No.
I feel like it would be a bit hypocritical if we advised that particular course of action.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
mean,
haven't
it
stolen
all depends.
anything yet.
Well, let's not rush into anything. Why did you steal the gold is sort of the more important question.
It's a break. We can't progress plot. No plot.
I can't tell you.
The plots must
I
remain
won't tell you. It is a
in
secret.
neutral gear.
Now I want to say that, like, how, because I did want name, but it's like, does that mean where was his mom? I have no idea where his mom is. She was an adventurer. She could have been from anywhere. Ah.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
no, you've got to flesh out the backstory a bit more, Sonny.
I do. I gotta.
You just gotta do it. Just do it.
Then we come back. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get coffee then. I'm gonna get coffee.
Oh, I'm gonna get coffee too. Good idea.
Yeah. Let's get coffee. Coffee buddies.
Okay, coffee break.
Be right back. My phone's off. I can't
Coffee
hear anything.
together.
I'm gonna mute. Do.
Ugh. Pardon me. Oh, Martin, we're gonna have 2 days of D&D in a row.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I know, I need to print off my character sheet.
I need to make mine. I'm going to play Filbert. Filbert the Arcane Sorcerer.
Oh. What race is Silvert again? I know you
He's
said, I can't remember.
He's a gnome. A transformer. He's now a gnome.
He's gonna be fucking tiny.
Gnome Sorcerer.
A gnome sorcerer, okay.
It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be good. You can help the rest of us stop Gideon from setting everything on fire.
I mean, I'm gonna be a wild sorcerer, so I might help him.
I mean, as long as it's not intentional.
I should probably start making that soon, actually.
Yeah, that might be a
want
good
it.
idea.
Yeah, so where can get all that gold? She's a dancer.
I love Tom came in and his mic wasn't muted.
I was like here and I was like,
I stopped and I was like, should I carry on describing my role? Okay,
I just moved them to general.
Yeah.
Right. My first, proper healing. I was 16 points of health.
Nice.
So much.
All of the health.
Mm.
Okay, right, so my fault for not doing this before, but I will have a quick chat with Ezra to make sure that we are clear on Alina's motives. Where are we at?
You're clicking so hard.
It's like you've stolen my instant action.
Try changing your mic sensitivity, or try push to talk.
I could do that, but I'm also really bad at push to talk. Right, let's just up my mic.
Just up the sensitivity at least.
Yeah.
Do you return with coffee?
I
the hot water isn't done yet, but I'm just gonna take my laptop into the kitchen.
see if I do that, I get echoes.
Oh, in the kitchen?
No, if I up my
Oh, your
sensitivity.
sensitivity.
Yeah.
Okay, push to talk. Push to talk.
Really bad at push to fine.
I am also really bad at push to talk.
We're gonna not hear her for like 5 minutes. We're like, hey,
Yeah.
he's up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Look, I just forgot to do it.
Put it on spacebar or something. Just have your hand.
It is on
resting
spacebar, but oh fuck.
on it.
And now my spacebar is just going. It's just going. Fuck. Okay, no.
Okay, forget push to talk.
Martin gave up easy.
You gotta pick and choose your battles.
Well, does Alt do anything? I'm gonna end up turning sticky keys on.
I think Alt, Shift, or Control are all bad over this.
Never mind. Well, I'm on Alt now. Let's try numpad 0. Or not numpad 0. Let's try 1.
Apologies. Alright, I'm still so cold.
Oh my god, I can't believe you've done this to us, Charlotte.
You know what would help in this situation?
Push to talk.
Yeah, push to talk.
What?
Anyway, Isra, if you just hop into general for a second.
Please.
Fuck, I forgot to do it. Look, Isra, if you just hop into general for a second, and I'll talk to you about Alina, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so Alina is a very get out.
Get out!
Alina is a very, very good dancer, and she wants to explore the world without the hindrance of her family. So she's trying to sort of make her way across the world to get as much experience as possible. But with her family at the moment, she can only go where they have camps set up. So your goal is to use this party that you have just found in order to go adventuring with them. You don't necessarily know or care who they are right now. You just want to sort of pay them even to get escort you to wherever you're going. Pretty much. And yeah, while you're at the pub, try and get as much info out of them as you can. So
yeah, I really don't know what's going on. So
yeah, exactly.
I'll ask some questions.
So this will definitely help. Ask lots of questions to them, and then, regardless or not whether they take you along, turn up. When they get to the docks, I'm gonna have you turn up at the docks there anyway, with a backpack ready to go, and you're like, "Let's go!" And they're like, "What? What's happened?" And you'll just sort of be permanently a party member because you're just following them.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's pretty much your goal at the moment. You are very sort of charming, very good at sort of white lying to get what you want, and you can sort of perform your way into most inns and hotels and stuff. So even now, like the inn that you're going to go to, the bartender will recognize you because she's seen you dancing, and she'll sort of be quite friendly towards you because of that. So yeah, cool. Let's go back.
Okay.
Basic code.
Okay, that's all good.
I did that last on Thursday night. Actually, I charged my wizard shield, and then just flew and well, it didn't end up happening because the character never got hit by the dragon, but they were gonna basically tank for another character.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Oh fuck. Okay, so
Have music.
we are now back in the old dancing legs. There are a fair amount of people. Your sort of scuff took you up to about. You woke up late, so you're sort of out and about around 11. It's about lunchtime, noonish, and you're ready to sort of sit down, have some lunch, and talk about this person you've just found.
So, drinks are on you, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, you have all that money and you got involved in your fight.
And as your motley crew walks in, you see Jess, the lovely towering orc behind the bar, and she goes, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you back so soon."
Okay, tell me, like, are the other 6 guys that you like kicked the crap out of? Are they there at their own table?
No. Although that would be funny. No, they're not. They've scampered back into their hideout.
But we just couldn't stay away from your wonderful food and drink.
I mean, I know that you're kissing up, but it's pretty fucking good food and drink. What can I get for you?
It is. I lean over to Elena.
Is it all
like,
fucking chicken wings again? Because I have to tell you now, you ate us out of most of our chicken wings last night, and we haven't got a shipment back in until like 3 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Do you have any garlic bread left?
The thing that you showed the cook last night.
Yes.
I think we could rustle something up.
Yes.
I'm just gonna be living off garlic bread. Garlic bread and chicken wings.
In Tate's life.
Okay, while this is going on, Hal is trying to get Resh's attention, and he's trying to, like, indicate Alina and then check with you, like, are you okay? Like, are you okay that we fought and picked her up? Because she did rush up to him. He didn't hear about the knife incident, but...
Wait, no, Resh, give me a perception check, and Hal, give me a performance check.
Oh, goody. Oh, that's not bad. Performance is charisma?
Yeah. Yes.
No, yes, it is. But that's a 16.
Okay, 16 is not bad. What did you get?
22.
22. Yeah, you understand what you're trying to say, which is a shame because I wanted Hal to roll really badly because then Resh could be like, you think Hal is having a stroke. But anyway, yeah, you understand. So, however, you now have to give a performance check, and Hal has to give a perception check to see whether he understands your reply.
You could just answer me, but sure. Oh, I got it, yeah, okay.
Why make it easy?
No, don't, just shreds.
24.
19.
Yeah, you absolutely have this non-verbal communication shit down. What is it you say?
Resh.
What?
What is it that you say?
I started while I was like halfway away.
Oh, okay. So I asked Hal. Hal asked, like, indicates that, I mean, that looks at you, like, are you okay with the fact that I jumped in like that? Like, is it okay that we're with her now? Because he doesn't know everything. He doesn't know that she threatened you with a knife. I don't even know if that really happened. He just heard him take me to your leader, and all of a sudden, I'm out of the way of the fight. So he's like, are you okay with this? Because she ran to him first. She ran to Resh first. He's doing a check-in with his party member.
Yeah, no, Resh is gonna allow it, because he's actually incredibly curious about what she is doing causing trouble all the way over here.
Okay, because that's really good, but because you rolled the 24 and then you were like, what? So in my head, that was just Resh just pulls out his loot and just starts, like, going at it. And it's like a 24 performance. What the hell is happening?
Interpretive music? And And Hal looks at it and nods and understands completely what Resh is trying to say.
Yeah, okay, so
you all sit round like a really large table. Alina is sort of she's the one facing the door almost. Like she's a little bit paranoid about who's gonna come through. And yeah, you sit down and Jess gives you all of your garlic bread and a lot of mead and beer.
The dog.
And yeah, it is. She sort of winks at Morph because he's definitely the one that ordered the alcoholic drinks, while everyone else looks sick to their stomachs. Morph, do you start like downing these drinks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
I'm ready.
We're still leaving today, aren't we? We're not leaving today?
What happens with this one?
With this one, yes. Can we get... okay, he looks at her, and because I'm blanking, he looks at Alina, like, to say something, and then it just stumbles out of his mouth, and he just, like, looks away, and he's flustered. He's like, I don't know, never mind.
Oh my god, does Hal have a crush?
So Alina, exactly how long were you in town before you made off with those men's money?
I think we got into town 4 hours ago.
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Actually.
Yeah, but it
Sounds
sounds
right.
4 hours ago.
That sounds right. I look at Rash, and I go, what was... And I, like... And he was like, what was it, like, 2 hours? How long have you been at the inn?
How long have you guys been here?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
we don't know ourselves.
We don't know ourselves.
You totally just say, we don't know.
No, wait. What does that mean? You don't know yourselves? You can't tell time?
Yeah,
I mean, it was either
we're
like
all capable of reading a clock.
it's between a day and a week, I'd say.
Between a day and a week.
That range.
No, I think it's more between, like, 3 days or 4. Oh, no.
We
Never
haven't
mind,
been here
yeah.
for a
Yeah,
month,
it's
but we
between
haven't
like
been here for an hour, so it's somewhere between there.
Like that entire mess just happened.
Alina, give me...
very confused by the answer she's being given to the simple question.
Give me an insight check.
I'm so confused.
So yeah, give me an insight check, and that's roll a d20, and then whatever your insight modifier is, which I believe is wisdom or charisma, and just add it.
Insight. Oh, it's just 0. Okay.
Okay, so just roll your d20.
roll a 20.
I'm a low roller.
Okay, well that's fine, because you can't really tell that these people are lying, but it also just sounds like too stupid for them to be lying. You're not sure.
Hal kind of recovers from the group and looks through and goes, the drink is really good here. That's probably the most important thing. I think we can all agree that
Yeah, that kind of
this is like A and the drinks.
that kind of makes sense to you. Yeah.
I see. Maybe that does make sense. Are you sure you guys didn't lose any time?
Oh, we
That's so frustrating.
time.
Not at all. Okay, great.
So,
We're heading east. Are we heading east after this? We're between this desert lane.
West.
Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep typing millions of ones into my fucking speech bar.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to travel north until you hit the docks, then cross the sea to get to the Sundown Desert.
Oh, we have to cross the sea to get there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Alright, so after the cough, and we'll be heading north soon. Is your caravan going that way? Which way are you traveling after you rob this place blind?
You're going south.
Well, the caravan might be going south. I'm not sure I'll actually be on it though.
Oh.
Does that have anything to do with your proclivities for itchy fingers?
Not at all. Not at all.
There's nothing
No.
wrong with having itchy fingers. just what you choose to do with them.
At this point, Hal,
things
you
that
start
have
like
been wrongly
scratching your
acquired.
fingers.
Oh, gee.
Everyone just spoke over each other. I did not hear that.
Oh,
So
you know,
reacquired things that had been wrongly acquired.
Okay, cool. I didn't hear Millie.
Hal just starts scratching his fingers as soon as you said scratchy fingers. Itchy fingers.
Yeah.
You don't know why, they're just really itchy now.
Yeah. Well, do you possess any other talents aside from stealing and getting in between the tank and a big fighter?
Actually,
And at that, Alina actually gets up and moves to the stage. Give me a performance check.
okay. +5. Okay.
Oh.
What's it gonna be?
Oh, not 20, not 20, not 20.
13.
Oh.
That's it. I
Give me advantage. So roll again and take the high
Can
number.
I assist?
It's you.
Oh, sound just okay.
Oh. Yeah, 13. What does that give her, Millie?
No, roll advantage.
I think Millie's died.
Fuck! I forgot about the ones. Every time. Every time. Right, roll with advantage, please.
Oh my god.
What is going on?
That's so funny. She's on push to talk and she just keeps typing instead of. Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, so give me an advantage roll. So roll again and we'll take the highest one.
Oh, okay.
Who's the dog?
No, this is funny. Yeah! Fantastic! So you get onto the stage and you guys are treated to a Far Eastern traditional dance that she performs incredibly well. In fact, the rest of the tavern has started to gather round and sort of cheer her on. At this point, she is incredibly graceful and incredibly beautiful the way that she moves. Her skirts sort of flare up and sort of almost float because of how she's moving. Like they almost look static, but she is definitely spinning and twirling, and it's almost mesmerizing the way that you look.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, she's clinking the entire way. And it's it's incredibly fun and good. And actually, a couple of the more drunk lunchtime drinkers are trying to dance with her and failing terribly, but it's really funny. It's incredibly funny. And she sort of gets off of the stage and says,
Yes, I do have other skills. Thank you for asking.
Al is slack-jawed. And then goes back to his drink. This is nothing else.
Josh is like chin hands right now.
Josh is what?
Okay.
Like chin hands is grinning.
Wait, can everyone see that you have a instrument, Rush? Is that on the back or like?
Everybody can see that I have the instrument.
Alina comes and sits next to you and looks at your instrument approvingly.
Be careful, she might steal it.
You know, he's already considering this. He's already watching.
Do you want to start playing something?
Yes, I do. Why not?
What is your what's your instrument?
It is lyre.
It's a what?
It's a loop,
A
obviously.
lyre. Okay.
Wait. Okay, so
There are only so many small portable instruments.
That's true.
It is an entire grand piano.
so this is the music you start playing.
That's great.
Perfect.
And as you start playing it, everything starts to calm down a little bit more in the tavern as people go back to their business, but they're still in an incredibly good mood thanks to the dance and the music.
So I feel like this music
This is so great.
Hang on, I need to see if this exists.
You're looking for like a Maya cover of this particular.
Wait.
I mean, it was a harp anyway. Which is basically a lyre.
It's basically a harp.
But slightly less portable.
Yeah.
No, you just
Oh,
roll and have a
slightly.
fucking harp. That's what I've decided now. You just trudge that thing everywhere. Anyway,
If he had like 16th strength, then he could have a harp.
you just smack people with your harp and have to replace the strings every battle.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. So, you guys keep talking. So, what is it that you Resh is just harping away?
Okay.
I'm gonna keep playing music while we all chat.
How much did you get? Everything from those guys, or what's the situation there?
Well, it's probably easier to show you. And Alina looks over at Resh, looks over. How are you sitting?
I guess. I don't know who I'm sitting beside. Why not? For simplicity's sake, let's just say that we're in the same order as our characters on the screen.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're all the way down. You're all the way down the table then. But I lift up my skirt. Rather high actually, and then I turn it, what part you can see, I turn that inside out, and you see that there are these little pockets sewn in, and they look like they've been repurposed into gold holders, and you see the gold goes all the way up the skirt, and then you flip it back, I flip it back down, and I say, question answered. Enough for your drink.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Is Hal having an aneurysm right now?
Just like a little bit of blood starts dripping from his nose.
No, not that bad. Not that bad, but he definitely like wide-eyed, and then I am fucked. He says nothing. He has the cup like to his mouth, and like obviously he was frozen when she stood up and did that, and then he just tips the whole thing back. And then he just puts it down, and he's done. He's like,
Kind of just sees the look on Hal's face, and she's like, fuck, he's bringing her with us.
Rush is like looking between the two of them. Is like, I want to bring her.
Resh has already started like building songs in his head about these two.
Oh.
what Hal does is he has his hand like I'm leaning on my desk with like one hand like forehead on like your fingertips, and he's looking away from Resh and Alina at Morth and Pane, and he like gestures like, what do you want to do? And then just stares at the table. Just, what do you want to do?
Stares at the table like,
He's out. He's done.
Rush is already composing songs for her to dance to.
Yay!
Hal's not talking.
Well,
Got plus 4 charisma. Don't trust a single word.
we should get going. So,
Would you
want
like
to come with us?
Where are you guys going to?
We are going to the Sundown Desert north.
Now, Alina, you live in and around the Sundown Desert, but you have lived only very close to static cities before because that was where it was safe. The Sundown Desert is vast, and you have not even covered 5% of it. So you know, it's all good.
That sounds like an adventure.
And you also know how far it was going to take to get to the Sundown Desert. So you're like, there's loads rooms of stuff for shit to happen. It'll be great.
Exactly. And you guys will need
steal from.
I can perform. We'll get free rooms everywhere. It'll be fun.
Excellent.
Oh well, if there's one thing I like more than sleeping in a bed, it's sleeping in a bed for free.
Rush just like fist bump her. He kind of just wants to.
Alina has no idea what a fist bump is, and so she kind of looks at his fist very quizzically, and then looks at the rest of the table and doesn't know what to do.
I just kind of slime, like, yeah.
So she kind of leaves him hanging. Until somebody else has their fist bump first, so she knows.
Well, Moth makes, like, knocking his fists together.
Oh, got it. And she fist bumps.
It just like keeps grinning wider. Like the longer. He's going to enjoy her company a lot. There's
Yay.
mischief.
Yeah, Hal looks at his empty cup and like in Goblin just goes too old as shit. Are we leaving? And then like after that, he's like, okay, are we leaving? Who's picking up the tab? No, fuck it.
Well,
Someone pick up the
Alina
tab.
is. Yeah.
No. Drinks on Alina, remember?
So Alina walks up to the bar,
Uh-oh.
and she what's the bartender's name again?
Jess.
Jess.
We like Jess though.
Yes, we do like Jess. Alina knows Jess. Just because in the 4 hours before she stole the gold, she also came here and talked with the Jess earlier. And so she gets a small discount
Yeah, Jess sort
and
of
pays
goes.
for it in stolen gold.
Jess sort of looks at you and goes, you know, that's probably the best thing that these lads have seen all night, so they'll be drinking far longer than they usually have, so thank you very much.
And she curtsies.
When you pay for stuff with stolen money, is it like getting it for free?
I think so. So it tastes even better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Rush looks at Alina. It's like, so what about that other one that was with you? Should we be worried about him?
Oh, my brother, no. He's fine. He enjoys his life. He won't miss me. He won't miss me at all. He would never come after us in any form or fashion. Don't worry at all.
That
sounds
sounds somewhat
convincing.
disingenuous. Mayhaps you should go and tell him where you're gallivanting off to.
Well, maybe we should just go get your stuff and leave.
Being kidnapped,
to go wrong. No. Oh god. I turn to like the people nearest in the bar, like, we are not kidnapping her. If anyone asks, this is not a kidnapping.
Yeah.
Hal looks at Patty and is like, okay, that's what someone who is kidnapping someone would say.
Very credulous. Alright, well, I understand we don't want any kidnappings happening, so let me go get my stuff alone, and I'll meet you guys at a location of your choice. The docks, maybe?
Well, it's going to take a couple of...
Far away.
That's a couple
Oh,
hours
no.
travel. So you can meet by the stables. You guys can get together a horse and cart.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I leave.
Yeah, and Hal goes to like try and make those arrangements and just not.
He's just on autopilot.
Nice.
I'm totally gonna follow Alina.
No! Okay.
Honestly,
Well, give me a stealth check then.
I send my hawk with more.
Right, give me Pex's stealth check.
pretty good. 18.
Well,
Wait, what kind of
Alina,
armor
what's
do
your
you
passive
have?
perception?
Martin, what's your armor? What armor are you wearing? Are you disadvantaged?
Yeah, I do have this. 9.
Hex rolls a natural 20.
Well, okay, in which case Alina sort of hears Morph behind her as she's walking, and she like tells him like shoo, and like slips very quickly into the like a side alley where Morph can't follow her. But Pex is very high up in the sky and does manage to follow her without him
Brilliant.
noticing. So
Actually, does scale mail give me
I
disadvantage?
think so.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything other than like leather and cloth and chain
You
maybe?
can have a chain shirt or a breastplate without disadvantage because those are worn between layers of clothes. But scale mail, definitely you get disadvantage.
Hey, Diesel Diggle Dog. Diesel Diggle.
So
I'll have to get a breastplate.
what happens is like
Oh, I need to buy a shield! Lily, I need to buy a shield.
Okay, you buy a shield. Let me.
Sweet.
10 gold.
it's easy.
Yeah, it's like 10 gold, I think. Oh,
It is 10 gold.
I bought 10 gold from myself again.
yeah, and then you can have a shield.
What I do is I walk up to Hal and I sort of like link my arm with his, and I'm like, you're going to need to guide me, because I'm going to look through the eyes of my hawk, and that means that I can't see anything from my own body while I'm doing that. So you need to guide me.
Oh shit!
Yes, Hal leads his this blind child.
Okay. So Alina, what does Pex see?
Pex sees Alina running down the alleyways. Not at like not at a sprint, but at a quite good clip.
Mm-hmm.
And she is making her way towards where the caravan's parked down south of the city. But he notices that she sees other members of the troop, which are very obvious to everyone because of the clothing and the color that they are, the clothes that they're wearing, the color of them. And she the hawk or whatever. What is this thing? Hawk notices that she actually ducks into alleys instead of saying hi to any of them. And continues on her way down to the below. When she reaches it, she completely blends into the background, walks into one of the caravans, emerges out with a pack in the amount of time that it's clear it was pre-packed. She did not have to actually do anything. It was ready to go. And she grabs it and runs off right back.
Okay.
That's gonna bite us in the ass.
I blink back into my body and sort of like look around because we've inevitably changed locations since. And I'm just like, where are we? Oh, okay, this is where we are.
Okay.
And I explain quickly to everyone what Pex saw.
And what this does is I blow the persuasion roll I was going to ask Millie if I could make, because Hal was definitely playing off his blind little sister to try and get a better deal on the wagon and horse.
I mean, I can still pretend to be blind.
Go for it.
He looks around normally. He's like, oh, never mind. Never mind.
I think we should still go
Can you
for it.
please,
I'm sure it'll be
please go for it.
Please do not.
It's a miracle! I can see again!
Okay, so you guys eventually reach the stables, which is on the sort of north end of town, and there are some pretty nice looking working horses, some carts that are sort of really up to scratch, some that are sort of almost falling apart. You can see a wonky wheel in one of them. What would you, there's the owner, sort of standing around, grooming her horses. There's a couple of stable boys running around. What'd you do?
Well, my sister can see again, so I don't do that.
Which is really funny because, as you said, Hal looks very Middle Eastern, and Panay is the whitest white elf to ever white.
I got +4 charisma though. It doesn't matter. Hal goes up and he starts. I guess he just tries to. He tells him that he needs a caravan. He needs a wagon for 4 or 5 people. They're going to be traveling north to the docks.
And the woman says, "Oh yeah, I can do that for you, no problem. We've got another station just by the docks anyway. 5 gold here and 5 gold on entry."
Done.
Oh, easy.
Sweet.
That's easy.
I love not having to haggle.
That's done. I'd do that.
The best.
I do that. It'll be and then like he turns over and is like, "That's a gold piece each." Like I guess Resh and Panic. Did Morth come back?
Yeah.
Is everyone back?
Yeah. He got shooed off like really fucking early.
Fucking clanky.
It was like the equivalent of Alphonse Elric trying to be sneaky.
Yeah. Okay.
Hal hears you like cussing out your armor and he's like, hey, be nice. Stuff's helped you before. To respect the armor.
Roll my eyes. I'm sure the armor doesn't have feelings. I don't care what your superstitions are. It's armor.
You say that now. He says, a gold coin each. Fess up. Pay up.
Okay.
Yeah, I handed him my gold coin.
All of 1 gold, yeah.
Hands him a
We
coin.
paid.
Such a...
Am I
Still
back
says
yet?
about it, but he hands over the coin.
Yeah, as you're handing over all of the payment, you arrive just in time to hand over your gold piece.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. I just have a question though, Kitty. When Resh holds out the coin and Hal takes the other half of the coin, does Resh go right away, or is it kind of like that tense moment of?
Yes, there's exactly that tense moment where he's not quite ready to give it up.
And Hal has this shitty grin on his face. He's like, "Do you want to walk? Thank you." We pay for the horse and cart and we go.
Okay.
I don't know if tiefling ears can move, but they are.
We could totally have them move. Why not? Okay. And you pile up into your horse and cart, and you sort of trundle on your way. And actually, as you're going, let's go this one. You start to go back into the forest. Now, it's very similar to the one that you found around the Druid Stone, and it starts to get a lot more dense the further north you go, which is very odd. This, someone give me a history check.
Sure. Ooh, that is...
Intelligence?
Nope.
That is 23.
23? Okay.
Oh my god.
I have +6
That's
to
sort of her
history.
thing, yeah.
Okay, I got 15.
Okay.
15 with my -1.
Okay, so Panay and Hal, you kind of know that this forest, Solace's forest, is known as the Living Forest, and it's because there is so much magical energy sort of hidden away in it that it tends to almost flow. It's never been static, and so attempts to map out parts of the forest have gone largely not well. The reason you actually have a road, and there's only one road, is because about 50 years ago, the druids that you believe are still there, but no one else does, actually made a deal with the deities of the forest. Just say, look, we give you things that you want every year, and if you could keep this road static, that would be fantastic.
Oh, shit.
And the forest almost played a trick on these people. They kept their end of the deal, but the road isn't necessarily static. It changes every time someone travels on it. Although it will still get people to their destination, it does change.
That's cool.
You can almost see it as you're travelling along in your cart for a couple of hours. The vines around and on top of you start to sort of dance and wave and weave a little bit. The trees and the light filtering through them almost perform a ballad as you're going along. It causes mottled light to fall on the skin of your cart, and it's altogether quite a pleasant journey. You occasionally... Someone give me perception checks? Or what's all your passive perceptions?
Passive perception
14.
is 13.
13, 14,
I think 10.
10. Resh?
15.
15, and Al?
10.
No, sorry, Alina.
Alina.
Isra!
I'm here.
What is your
What's your
passive
passive
perception?
perception?
Oh, I have. Oh crap.
It was like 16.
Don't
I'm
roll.
looking now. I'm looking now.
Oh, it's 12.
Oh, I just have-
apparently.
Wait, the. Oh, passive perception's
Yeah.
10. Sorry, I was
Okay.
looking at the skills.
Okay, so
Say zero.
only Resh sees, and it's kind of funny, and it kind of makes sense. Only Resh sees tiny little druid, little nymph spirits flying around the forest, and he sees them and understands actually that they have their blessing to pass. And given sort of 3.5 hours, they managed to come to the end of the forest. And out in front of them is a vast sort of couple 100 acres of plain lands, and then you can see off in the distance the sea.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's nice.
Think. Hang on,
Almost there.
let me see if I can find a good Picture. So yeah, you are traveling. You're traveling at a very stately sort of. I don't know.
We're going at a good pace. I mean, it's in the book how fast you want us to go, but
Ooh,
fair weather, healthy horse, good wagon, we're good to go. Oh, as we go, I look at more. I assume I'm driving.
It can be whoever is driving.
I'll be driving, but I look at Morth and I'm like, are you wearing?
My what?
Are you wearing the earrings?
Yeah.
Yeah, those earrings, by the way, have 2 charges a day, and after that they'll stop working until a long rest.
Okay.
But no, they're completely fine. And as the horses keep going, they seem to innately know where they need to go. Like they've probably done this route quite a few times. You start to see a sort of small checkpoint, and there is just one guard, sort of asleep in his little booth, and he's put up a piece of paper on the window that just says, "Keep going." he does not seem like bothered at all. If Resh, you can kind of tell that he's actually got magical wards up that will tell him if anything bad is coming, so he's fine. And you keep going, and eventually you get to Halnatha, which is a little city on the built into the cliff by the sea, and there and you can see there a good sort of 3 to 4 piers that you can just see, with large merchant ships and lots of fishing boats coming in and out of the quay. And it's an incredibly bustling city, although small, very, very packed. I'll send a picture of it in the thingamabob.
Yay!
And it's full of different and colourful buildings, and it's nothing like Solace.
Oh, very pretty.
And it's not the first time that Panay and Hal have come across it, but it is the first time that, in fact, Alina probably came. Actually, no, Alina would have come through the eastern port. So it is the first time that Alina and Resh have seen it.
I guess we continue on into the city, don't we?
Yes. By now, it's probably about 5 p.m.
Okay. We get there, we get to the horse depot, we pay the other 5 gold.
Yep.
Again, everyone fesses up 1 coin.
Yeah, the horse depot guy is a pretty rugged looking lumberjack guy, but he's got like a big steaming mug of something that kind of smells like broth, and he's sort of nodding, like, yes, thank you.
Would you know who we should speak to about chartering passage across the sea to the north?
Oh, across the north.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Any merchant ship will probably be going.
Okay, so just ask around the docks then, not a harbor master or anything.
There's a couple of harbor masters. Just go to the office, I guess.
All right. Have a good evening then. Yeah.
And you.
Bye. Fuck off, I guess. Yeah.
Go.
Back
To the office.
to the office. No.
It closes at 4:30.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. It closes at 4:30. There's like one small clock. No, this office is actually open 24/7 because the amount of ships that go through. So you'll be safe.
Excellent.
So you're exploring the sort of seaside town of Halnatha, and you're traveling down these sort of very narrow cobbled streets. There are colourful things for sale everywhere, like knickknacks and souvenirs, and you find one, and it's like it's cold and sweet is what they're selling, and people seem to be taking them away in cones.
Oh, that looks interesting.
And you can hear someone yelling, roll up, we've got just the last batches left, so I'm selling them cheap. Who wants some more ice cream?
Because Panay and Hal have been here before. I tap Hal on the shoulder. I'm like, can we have ice cream?
The both of you get very excited. about this
Resh
ice
is
cream.
looking at them, like, what is that?
And
What is
how
this
It's
cream?
amazing. It's
How
amazing.
Hal looks
It's
at
like
Penny
frozen
like
milk.
he would. He looks at her and he's just like, okay, but we haven't had dinner yet.
Aww.
It's good stuff.
All right, fair,
They
fair.
haven't
Yes.
had ice cream before.
Okay, fair enough. You can have an ice cream.
Yes.
And you go up and there's this very stately looking dwarf woman, which is kind of odd, like you'd expect for an ice cream vendor that they wouldn't be so rich, but it seems like it's a very good business in this town, and she's wearing like very fine cloths, and she's very happy, very jovial, and she's like, hello, and what can I get for you? Now you all have to give me your favourite ice cream flavours.
Hal looks for pistachio, but he's like leaning back a little. Like
Yeah, pistachio.
Do you have honeycomb?
So she says, oh, we've actually got three flavours today. We've got a lovely gooseberry, we've got the chocolate vanilla, and we have... What else do we have? We've got the ale ice cream. It's a good favourite back at home.
what?
It's ale!
Ale ice
Ale ice cream! Tastes
I
like
will have
ale,
the
gets you drunk
vanilla
like
chocolate
ale.
thing.
Hal looks horrified by that one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, as people who have had ice cream before, Hannah also looks slightly horrified.
Oh, it's a
I have
town
the-
favourite, really.
There's
The
a bit of a
sailors
feeling of
go for it every time.
dwarfs, man.
I look at Pat and I go, you know you want the ale ice cream, because you really want ice cream.
No, I'm going for vanilla and chocolate.
I look at Alina and I'm like, have you had this stuff before? I would not get the ale. Hannah can get the ale. Morthal can get the ale. That seems like something Morthal would do.
I recommend the vanilla and chocolate, it's amazing.
Resh is just gonna go with what Hane said, because he doesn't know anything.
Hal is disappointed at the lack of pistachio and does not buy ice cream.
Aww.
Aww.
Do you say that out loud to the woman?
He looks at it and then he just kind of shakes his head. Nah, I prefer the pistachio.
Hang on, she looks at you and she goes, oh, I know you. You're the one that likes the green knot one.
Yes.
Well, that'll be in about next week around.
Maybe on the way back.
Okay. Sorry about that. We sort of run out of that a little bit. Something going on with the
yeah.
forest. They haven't managed to get their shipments in, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
This just in, those berries that Morphe were actually pistachio.
Full stop. Wait, something's impacting the pistachio.
Okay, so everyone who bought the ice cream, obviously Panay, you know what this is, but Morthal,
Yeah.
Alina, and Resh, you take a bite of this stuff and it blows your goddamn mind. It's so creamy.
I feel like they need to make Constitution saving throws against
Yes,
brain
they do.
freeze.
They
Yeah,
do.
go for it. Make a concentration saving throw against the ice cream.
13.
Oh my god, okay.
13.
Oh, 18!
18.
Yay!
Hal just Resh just shoves the entire cone in his mouth and is just
Isn't it great?
Morthal immediately goes back up and gets another cone, and so he has 2 cones in his hand.
Aww.
They're like
So
50.
cute.
They're like 50 copper each.
Yeah.
No.
That's so affordable. Oh my god. Resh is so happy right now.
Yeah, Alina, what did you
I
roll?
pat Hal on the shoulder because they don't have any pistachio, and I offer him some of my ice cream from my cone.
Thank you, that's alright.
You're just so sad about this.
I know. So sad.
Yeah.
I even think how sad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Alina, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
So that's roll a d20,
Yes.
and then there is a specific bit that says saving throws,
In my character sheet.
Yeah. and then add whatever con is.
Saving throws. Oh, it's -1.
Oh, okay, so you got a 12. Yeah, you have to stop and think for about 5 minutes. Because you've never had like super cold food before. The desert doesn't really allow for that. So this is amazing. By the time you sort of come out of it, you realize that the party you're trying to travel with is about like halfway down the street, and you have to run to catch up to them.
And my hand is covered in ice cream.
It's a little bit
because while I was
sticky.
thinking.
It's a little bit
I
sticky,
didn't eat it all.
and you're like licking it off your hands.
Yes.
Okay, you sort of walk down closer to the docks, and you can see actually the sea is pretty choppy at this point because it's getting late at night. But the dock office is open.
Excellent. I look at the party to make sure everyone isn't just munching on ice cream.
You all absolutely walk into the office, and Hal's the only one not eating ice cream.
Yeah.
And this is why Hal is the responsible adult.
Okay, I go up to the main desk.
Yes, so there is a teller behind a little window, and he's a very dapper looking elf. He does not have a prismatic bow tie, and he's not called Jenkins. He's actually in a very slim fit navy suit, with a little sort of gem keeping his collar together. He's very, very clean cut and looks very professional. He's got a sort of pair of silver glasses on the end of his nose because he's flipping through accounting papers and numbers all the time.
And Hal is not dapper.
Yeah, you're sort of like roughed up. And he looks up at you and smiles, actually. He says, "Hello, and welcome to the Valhalla trading dock office." Yeah, that's fine. welcome to the dock office. How can I help you today?
We're looking for a passage for 5 across any vessel coming in tonight or leaving tomorrow morning for passage to the north.
Well, let me see. And he's flicking through his books. And he goes, "Okay, well, I have 2 ships that are coming in today and leaving tomorrow morning. I have 1 more ship leaving tonight, although I would not suggest that one. It's a pretty long haul, and you might get woken up by all the fishermen going at about 3 a.m., so possibly not. The 2 coming today, and he looks at them. One of them is a merchant ship coming in from the north, and the other one is stopping off at a small island, you know the one, before it makes its way to the eastern docks."
Okay, well, we'll take whichever one. What is probably the merchant ship? I look at the others. Stopovers would take longer. We want to head. We want to get. It doesn't matter what their destination city is, as long as it's near the desert. We're on an expedition into the desert.
Okay, well, the merchant ship goes directly up north, which is you'll have to get another ship from the dock there in order to get to the desert, I'm afraid. So I believe your best bet is the one that stops off in Tortuga.
Oh, Tortuga.
Oh, that doesn't sound threatening at all.
That sounds terrible.
All right, well, we who would we speak to about that arrangement? Because bear with me, I'm some of my friends and I sort of like gesture at myself. Phil and Pane are simply mercenaries. We're adventurers, but other members of our party, and I gestured at the bard and the druid, at the dancer, the druid and the dancer and the bard.
All 3 of them.
You actually, what happens is you go the druid, the dancer, and the bard. You point to Resh once, and then Alina, and then Resh again.
They have more to offer for the sailors on the ship, just in terms of entertainment and all of playing music.
Oh my god, she's selling us, Rash! Rash, she's selling us!
I think we should just go talk to the captain.
Oh, don't worry so much about that. All of the docks have a passenger system that we all use. I will simply take your names and your payment, and the next time those docks come back into port, I will give them their money. Of course, we take a cut of this, but they get a lot more passengers that way.
How much?
Oh.
It is 3 gold per person.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow, that's cheap. Sure, yeah.
Sure. Hand over the gold.
Never mind what I said about dancers then, never mind.
Don't worry, Resh. Don't worry, Alina. We won't need to haul you out to the town.
Right. You see this very dapper-looking elf who's got a name tag and in calligraphy writing. It's just got David on his badge, and David says, "Oh no, don't worry. We have far too many passengers to even think about making this not profitable for us. So don't worry." since we started this business, it's been very lucrative. So it's in the best interests of everyone here. And you can see like his
Can I do
colleagues.
an insight roll on David?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I can't.
Does anyone else want to make an insight roll?
Sure, I'll go for it. 16?
16. Yeah, okay, you can tell he's using his customer service voice, but he's also not lying.
Okay. Sorry, we're going to a place called Tortuga at the behest of David.
I'm sure
He's
it's
giving
a
us a super
perfectly
cheap deal.
lovely island.
David sort of
it
grimaces
sounds nice.
before he catches himself. Yes, a perfectly lovely island. Please don't leave the ship. And with that, he takes your money and sort of tellers it up, and you can hear a couple of sort of clacking noises. And a ding, boop, as he produces a piece of printed paper with your names and your payment and your confirmation of payment and your destination and the name of the ship that you will be taking.
What is the
And
name?
what is the name?
It's the Maiden Siren Song.
Oh, this sounds... That's not threatening.
Yeah, at all.
Siren song?
The Siren
I mean-
Song. It's one of our more popular
Is there
passenger
a
ships.
Song Sea around here somewhere?
Oh, goodness.
No, but there is the hidden island of Tortuga.
I mean, it's not
I'm
very
sure
hidden if it's publicly.
Accessible.
It sounds
As long
pretty
as-
well known to me.
As we're like leaving and we're having a discussion, Hal's just like, okay, that's assuming that the captain sees the island before we reach it.
Oh no.
What?
You can never run his ship up.
Spyglass, Hal.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about it, but it's where we need to go.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure you're worrying over nothing.
Sure.
It's leaving tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's
So,
go have a look at the
Find a
ship.
tavern.
Well,
Let's not
go
find a
have
tavern.
Let's have a quick look at the ship. See
Yeah.
what it looks like. And
Well,
then we'll
agreed.
go find.
It hasn't
Someone
arrived yet,
sleep.
so it's coming in late today,
I
like late this
see.
evening, and it will
Okay.
be leaving around. On your printed paper, it says 9 a.m.
Cool.
Okay. You're about
On the
8:30.
printed paper, it says, "Please arrive half an hour before boarding."
Make sure you have your passport.
And your ID on
Oh,
you.
God.
Please have your individual boarding passes at the ready for the gate.
Declaration cards will be distributed before. before we proceed.
Oh, that's a good point. Do we have anything to declare?
Okay. Actually, probably a better
I
point.
certainly don't.
Of course not. No.
No, you don't.
Please don't declare any of this.
Also, I feel like I don't need to say this, but I'm going to. Please don't steal anything from the people on the ship.
I would
mean, why
never.
not?
Because no.
Because we're going to be stuck on a ship with them in the middle of the sea.
Over how
I mean,
many days?
It's all about timing.
It's all about timing. You can
How
steal
many
as
days
we're
will
getting
it be
off the
stuck?
ship.
Yeah.
So it takes
It's
2
4
days.
4 days.
It takes
we can
2
only
days.
steal on the 4th day.
2 days to get to the Isle of Tortuga, and another day and a half to get to the desert.
Okay.
Right. Fair enough.
Nothing will go wrong.
That last
Have-
half
either when we were-
the thieving.
Either when we were going across, when we were on the wagon and all alone on the road, or now when we go to an inn, has anyone filled in Eilina about why we're going to the desert?
No,
I'm.
of course not.
Oh
We're not
no,
going
and I haven't asked either.
Okay.
She's just down. She's just
Yeah,
down.
we-
for
Okay. So
it.
how
She
asks
doesn't,
Eilina? Do you even care why we're going there, or are you just up for the ride?
If I'm being honest, I don't care at all.
Cool.
That's fair.
That's
That's
good.
honestly
fair.
quite fair.
For that conversation.
It's
Let's
probably
do
that.
better that you don't break your dark. I'm going to be honest. Yes.
She's in the dark.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's find somewhere to,
Sleep.
I don't know, do something. It's only evening, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was 5 p.m. when we got in.
Someone's going to have to
Like
restrain
6 or
Crash from
7?
getting more ice cream.
Physically restrain him.
Hal doesn't. Hal just looks at Patty and goes, "See, look what you did."
I could give the
Smile.
deprived tiefling ice cream.
Go buy
I
ice.
will quite happily
Yeah.
give him ice cream.
Do you
Hal
go
starts like
ice cream?
searching around for
Ice
like
cream. So you do like a pub crawl, but instead it's an ice cream shop crawl.
That's what they do. Okay, that's what they do. But Hal is like looking around at meat and stuff. He's like, I want like a kebab. I want.
You
yeah.
really
I
want
have
kebab.
actually done an ice
You want a
cream
proper
bar
gyros.
crawl.
You want a proper Greece gyros.
1 second, I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so you all sort of go your separate ways for sort of an hour or so.
Oh, actually, what he definitely wants to do, Hal, I guess goes. I assume we picked a place to meet back up if we all split up.
You assume like you're gonna go for the busiest tavern.
Yeah.
Cool. Hal wants to find a dice game.
I will join Hal on that.
Okay, well, Hal and Morth sort of give each other a singular look. They join arms and they march off in the direction of the nearest tavern. About 10 minutes later, you can hear like wild arguing about something about cheating and good-for-nothing half-elves.
I never said I would cheat. I just said I was gonna go gamble.
It doesn't matter. These people are all very like. It's about 7 p.m. Everyone's finished with their dinner and they've moved on to the ale.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I didn't say I would cheat, but I didn't mean he wouldn't ever cheat. But like, so they hear "good for nothing half elf" and then response of like, I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, like a human thing.
This is just gonna turn into a fist fight extremely quickly.
No, they just start throwing dice again.
Yeah, they just start more aggressively playing dice.
Yes,
Yeah.
just more shit talking.
Yeah, it never actually comes to blows. They're just really, really intensely playing dice. And actually, the one human guy, like this big burly sailor with like, he's like super bald. He's got tattoos everywhere, and he's like almost throwing a tantrum because he's losing.
Oh.
And he's convinced that Hal is cheating, but he also has no proof. Hal is not cheating. He's just a really bad loser. And so like an hour passes of this intense dice game, and people have started to take notice around the tavern, and they're like cheering people on opposite sides of this table. And it's pretty amazing actually. People are like stopping in the street and quizzically looking about, seeing what's going on, because they don't remember a football game being on tonight. And you know, it's all very confusing.
I might try and start like taking bets on who's going.
Okay.
Yeah, game the room.
Yeah, Morph will absolutely starts doing that. And Morph, give me a charisma check.
Charisma?
Yeah.
Not too high. That's me.
He's in the middle of taking bets and is like, wait, that's me.
15.
A 15. Okay. You actually managed to gather like a relatively large amount of bets. Hal, give me what would I say? A luck? Do we have luck?
Nah, that would just be straight up and down.
Okay, yeah. Give me a d20, and we'll see who wins.
If I'm cheating, can I do sleight of hand?
You're not cheating.
I'm not cheating.
No. 6. That's all right because he rolled a 2. And so you actually managed to make 79 gold off these matches.
What?
The two of you. And the sailor actually threw in his bandana because he didn't have anything else to bet with. It's a little bit sweaty, but it's a pretty nice looking bandana.
Absolutely take the bandana. What color is it?
It's red and black, with a white trimming.
I use that. I like tie it up like a. And it's like, thank you. I go to pay for
He's full on sulking now. And he sort of like rage quits and he leaves the table, and the mate who he was with is laughing so hard, like so hard, like he's ribbing the shit out of this guy. It's like, wait until I tell Captain tomorrow. It's like, don't you dare tell Captain.
So how are we splitting that money? I'll take 40, and you can take 39 and bandana.
Excuse me. Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Wait a minute, no, that's not fair enough.
And
It's already
this is
done.
what the rest
I've
of you
already
sort of...
split the money.
No, okay, that's mine. That's mine.
And this is what the rest of you walk into as you come back from your sort of excursion. So, Resh, what were you doing in that hour?
Okay, he can only have so much ice cream. So,
Rush.
with the remainder of the hour, he tries to stick to more well-populated areas. Fancy. But he is curiously peeking into shops that might have anything to do with druids. Because, again, he's still looking for traces of his family.
Okay, well, you do actually find, like, there's a little sort of brick house built kind of store. And inside, when you go and check, is a little old lady.
Okay.
And you can sort of, you were guided to the store by the sort of smell of incense, kind of. And it's something that you sort of recognize from the previous druid shop that you went into. And as soon as you walk in, she sort of goes, "Oh, hello, I wasn't really expecting anyone today, especially not you. The cards didn't say anything. But welcome, how can I help you?"
Cards. Oh. Okay, so he's a little taken to guts. Can I take a look around the little shop?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you see lots of sort of gems. You see lots of jewellery. A lot of sort of naturally rough stones. They haven't been finished, like they're not properly cut like you've seen royals and sort of nobles wear. They seem to be quite genuine still, very close to what they were when they were found. You see a couple of sort of scrolls and books detailing the magic of stones. And there are a couple of sort of crystal chandeliers, the very sort of small ones that disperse the light in a way that sort of splits them up, and so the shop itself is a sort of confusing array of rainbows.
Okay, so after taking all that in, I look at this little old lady who's like, "I'm looking for any information about druids."
Oh, druids. Well, we haven't had a lot of them pass through recently, but what is it specifically about druids that you're looking for?
Mostly moon druids, if they've come by or passed near this town.
Oh, moon druids. Okay, well, I haven't had any in, say the last even 5 years that have made themselves known to me. Not at least not in this dock. I usually just get nature and sun druids. The moon druids themselves, they tend to be quite northern, living in, the very, very cold parts of the world. I do, however, have something that a moon druid traded to me about 10 years ago, if you're interested.
Yes.
And she sort of, "Oh, cool, hold on, love," and she bustles off her stool, and she's quite old, quite big, she's sort of hunched a little bit, and she's sort of wearing a lot of ruffly capes and knitted clothing and stuff. And she goes, she comes around the counter, and she's only like 4'3". And she bustles around and goes to a section of not polished jewellery. So near the front there's a lot of polished and finished jewellery. And where she goes, is to a section that's filled with lots of natural wood. And she sort of teeters along a little bit and goes, where is it? Which one? This one. And she pulls out a little box. And in the box, she sort of comes over to you, like she literally comes up to like about your waist, and opens it. And inside is a very simple wooden band with a tiny little opal in the top. And she says, "This one was given to me by a lovely lady. I believe she needed to trade it for health potions. It's not got a lot to it, I'm afraid. It's not one of my most valuable pieces. But I do believe it has a couple of enchantments on it. Now, I haven't been able to decipher them because I am myself am not a druid, and I haven't really had a moon druid come by who could talk to me about it. So I've just let it sort of sit for a while. But for the right price, you can have it. I sort of forgot about it until you came in."
Can I ask to handle the thing?
You
Have a
were
look
not.
over it?
You were not there, Penny.
Am I not?
No.
Oh, damn
So
it.
Resh has sort of just gone off by himself. I assume you have also. So when did you come back?
Literally just now.
Okay. Morth and Hal are starting up a betting ring in the nearest tavern, playing dice.
Oh god.
Of course they are.
And I've just got to
You
where
already
Resh is.
succeeded, don't
So
worry.
yeah, I'll come back to you in a second.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what is it you want to do, Resh?
Well, first he would just ask, may I, and makes...
And she goes, "Oh, of course, dearie." And she hands you the box.
Okay. So, he attempts to cast Druidcraft on it, because it seems to work with other Druidic artifacts.
Okay, cool. You cast Druidcraft on it, and the little opal sort of changes colour slightly, kind of green, and you can see on the wooden band tiny bits of lichen appear.
Is there anything else that I can detect about this ring?
Give me an investigation.
Investigation.
If you buy it, I have identify.
Okay. 15.
15. So you can actually tell that, yes, this was definitely made by a druid. And you believe it's supposed to give some kind of direction. That's all you can sort of get from it at the moment. The closer you look, actually, when you look on the inside, it looks like there's a compass. Like, there are definitely 8 marks, evenly spaced, in the ring.
Okay. Then,
And
Resh will ask how much for it.
she says, "You know what, for you, dear, about..." And she sort of thinks...
79 gold.
She says, because I didn't see you coming today, I feel like you kind of need this more than I do. I'll part for 5 gold.
Wow.
He gives it to her. Just no hesitation this time.
She
Just gives it.
takes it and she kind of laughs a bit because and you can tell that she has a little bit of sort of precog about her, and she sort of laughs and takes one of the coins and immediately bites on it, and she's like, "Sorry, just habit, you know, around these parts sailors don't like to give me real gold." And she sort of looks at you and she goes, well put it on then.
He does that immediately. He's really excited about this.
And you
Feels
put
like-
it on your middle finger on your right hand, and as soon as you do, the opal starts to sort of shine a little bit. And what happens is a little hologram appears, and it sort of takes a while to form, but actually there's an arrow. And it's just lazily spinning at the moment, and she says, "Well, I never! Isn't that a neat little trick? I should have asked more than 5 gold, but I don't know what it does." And she sort of cocks her head a little bit, and she says, "Where is it that you're wanting to go?"
Oh. Okay. Sorry, the first thing that comes to mind is home.
Aww.
Okay, so the ring sort of warms a little bit, and the arrow spins a lot faster. And then it sort of points in the direction that you believe might be north.
Okay.
Yay.
Ooh,
And then it starts spinning again.
I'm pleased.
Well, it looks like you've got yourself a little compass. Oh, that's very nice. I like that. I'm going to have to see if I can find that enchantment and use it in the rest of my stuff. Very good. And with that, she sort of starts muttering to herself and goes back into the back of her shop, and you can hear like clanking and sort of a lot. And it's clear that she's no longer paying attention to you.
Okay, well he takes that as a sign she should leave, and he goes.
And as soon as you sort of walk out the door, she says, "Bye, love!" As she's tinkering about. And she says, just before you leave, I hope you and your friends find the stone you're looking for. And with that, the door closes.
Do it. Good.
He just freezes and turns around like.
And what did Penny do in that hour that she was away?
I have no idea.
That's fine. It's fine. You could join Morth and Hal on their betting ring. Let's say you start betting against Morth's bet, and you make 29 gold.
Okay.
Just because Hal is having a great time. What is it that you're doing, Alina?
I am. I had to go wash my hands because they were all sticky from the milk
ice cream.
And I couldn't lick it all off, so I had to go find my own little shop to go into, and I actually ended up rather close to Resh.
Okay.
Where he was shopping
you
at.
found a little boutique that sells lots of perfumes and soaps and nice smelling things. And actually what you managed to pick up is, it was a sort of promotional item. It's a really small little feather with a clip on it, and it smells like roses. And it's sort of a very light dusky pink colour, and you just pop it in your hair and it makes you smell like roses.
I like it because I won't be able to take off my clothes for quite a while until I can find a better way to store my gold. So I'm gonna be a little stinky in a day. So this is perfect.
Yeah, so that's what you see, and you come out about the same time as Resh does, and you see him look like, you sort of see him freeze.
I walk over. And he's got something in his hand, and I kind of inquisitively look over, wondering if he's actually going to show me or not.
So he's like proper wearing the ring, so...
Oh, he is now.
Yeah,
okay.
So do you like grab his hand, or do you like...
No. I only... Well, I do notice shiny things quite easily. So I immediately notice that Resh has on a new piece of jewelry for sure, and I kind of crane my head over, and as I'm saying hello, to get a better look at it. And it's something I've never seen before. It's a type of a sparkle that's new to me. So I immediately have hangs in my chest.
Okay, no.
That was me.
Here, let me show you what it looks like.
Nice.
Sounded so terrifying.
No, sorry. It was a tin can.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that's what the ring looks like.
Ooh, I actually haven't seen anything.
I can't
Oh,
see.
that is lovely.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Resh is very happy about this. He's surprised and delighted it fits, first of all. But
Yeah, it had no problem fitting at all.
Almost as if it were made for him?
Almost.
How interesting. Well, it becomes obvious that Resh isn't going to be forthcoming with information, so I do. so I kind of quirk my eyebrow up and say, "Oh, you found something you liked then?"
okay, he relaxes a little bit, although he is notably still holding that hand in his other hand. To prevent her from somehow swiping it. It's like, oh, yeah. And he thought it looked pretty, and that's what he's going to do.
Can I? If I want to know if it's like important or not, pretending that I didn't hear everything else, do I have to use like a perception roll or
So
something?
if you want to investigate what the item is, you give me an investigation check. If you want to investigate what Resh is trying to say, you give me an insight check.
Ah, okay. So I think I'll do the investigation. +2, okay. So it's +2, so do I do a roll and then +2?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. +2, 17.
Okay, so you can tell that it's a magical ring, and that's sort of all you can get for now.
That makes me even more covetous. Okay.
It's coming for you.
It was better than a pair of effects.
Okay, so Pane, yeah, we're all good? We're all meeting back at the tavern after this?
Okay, Millie, can I ask for slight clarification? 79 gold total that we won. How much of that was on the table with me, and how much of that is with...
Oh, so this was all this is, like, it's, some of it was the bettings you won from this guy, and some of it was, what Morphle made off of betting, like, taking
Yeah,
bets.
that's what I mean, like, what is the split between the 79?
Oh, so you probably...
39. We agreed, didn't we?
You probably actually made about, sort of, 35 gold from this match, and, yeah,
Okay.
Morph made up the rest.
I won 35, so I have 35, and the bandana, okay.
I will take 4 more gold, no complaints.
No, you won't.
No, I mean, I already noted down 40,
No.
but if you're taking less...
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was offering you 39.
Morph
you
is
just
very
took 40.
entrepreneurial.
Yes, I'll take it, never mind. I was super I won, that's what matters.
Yeah.
I won.
You got, 35 gold, a
Is-
bandana, and a victory.
Yes. When I see panic, because like the groups, the crowd starts to break up, I'm like, I like wave the bandana, and it's like shaking the bowl, I'm like, you prestidigitate this, it stinks.
Not your maid, but fine. Like, clean it.
Thank you very much.
It's no longer sticky with ale and booze. You're welcome.
And you've actually,
Start charging for that.
I should.
Pane, you actually changed the black to a much more agreeable navy blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I do like navy.
I like that.
So you're all in the tavern now.
Does the blue make a pattern or anything, or is it
No, it's just, she's just changed it. It's still stripy
No,
and
no,
red,
I
but...
mean in general, like if I unfurl the bandana.
Oh, it's just stripy. It's just stripy fabric.
Cool. Okay,
It's not permanent, it will change back. The colour will change back eventually.
Well,
Yeah.
not if I wash it.
Yeah, if you wash it in, like, IRL, it's fine. But...
Yay. Okay, I already ate street food. I'm not having any more garlic and cheese bread. You guys are gonna ruin that for me. Yeah, very nice. Anybody want to play cards?
Sure.
Is that what you guys are gonna do for the rest of the night?
However,
You go to bed and get up.
I have Pex sitting in the rafters in such a manner that he can see the card over his shoulder.
The thing is so occasionally...
Face down on the table.
Yeah, occasionally you just, you sort of blank out for a second.
Yeah.
So everyone else give me perception checks.
9.
9. Oh
23.
Okay, Morph, you absolutely know what Pane is doing.
15.
no. I rolled a 19.
Yeah, and so do you, Alina. You absolutely know what Pane is doing.
I was gonna do the same thing.
Well, thing is, Alina, give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay, wait. Okay, plus 3. Plus 3.
So you got 16.
Oh, 16. Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you actually, no one quite gets what you're doing because they're too focused on knowing that Pane is cheating that they don't recognize you cheating for most of the night.
And that was the true con all along.
Yeah, so you sort of play for until into the late evening, and then you go to bed and you are ready to get onto the ship.
Yay! Are you cutting it here, or can we go on the ship?
Sorry. Oh my gosh, sorry, I am dying. No, we can keep going for a little bit longer.
Yay.
Yeah, so you sort of wake up and you are ready at around 7.
Before we leave the inn,
Yeah.
I'll get everyone to stand together for...
Yeah, Alina has not experienced this yet.
What is this?
He just doesn't say anything. He just
He looks very serious, and then he fist bumps more.
Oh my god.
Does more accept the fist bump.
Oh yeah.
He fakes out Pane with the high five. But she
I
still
roll
gets
my
it.
eyes good naturedly.
She still gets it on the +8. Resh, he offers a handshake.
Russ looks at his hand dubiously before taking his hand.
It's a decent handshake. And Alina, he does the fist bump again.
yeah. What does he do with that?
This time.
Oh yeah, fist bump.
And then, yes, Alina takes.
Yeah, this time Alina doesn't actually fist bump. She takes his hand in her hands.
Oh. Oh.
And shakes it like she's seen other people in the West do. And she's like, "Did I do it right?"
Which of course leads to Hal with his hands being held by Alina, her looking up at him, wanting him to tell her she did a good job.
Yes, very good. He walks away. Everyone gets their +8 back. Although I'm the only one who used it last time, but hey, it works. We go down to the dog, and Hal again shuts up for a lot of it.
Okay, so you get down to the dock, and you see the Maiden Siren Song. She is she's a large sort of hang on, I used to know all these words and now I can't remember. Ship. Not honestly not the one I was looking for. I'm trying to cut her. Voyage ship. One with a large crew. Not a captain. Galleon. Yeah, that'll do. And you can sort of see that the crew is already up and about. And they're quite happy to just... They're almost ready to go. You run up to where the sort of everyone is. And you see David there. And he's there in he's looking very chipper. And he says, "Oh yes, no, welcome back. This is the boat that you will be taking today. Obviously, I know that you had your tickets because I gave them to you. Yes." And he looks like he's maybe a little bit really tired. And he sort of nods to himself and he said, "Yes. Well, here is Captain Morgan." And he will be the captain until you get to Tortuga. And with that, he sort of walks away to greet other passengers that are coming up.
Excellent, cool, let's go.
And the captain looks you all over and he says, "Well, you are an odd lot, but not the oddest I've ever had."
Thank you. What does the crew look like? Are they made here or are they?
They look relatively respectable.
Do they have weapons?
They do. They have daggers attached to their belts. You can sort of see some rudimental guns and cannons attached to the ship itself. And he sees you looking. Captain Morgan sees you looking over, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry. This is just in case, you know." Just a precaution.
That makes me feel better. I don't know about you guys.
Hal's definitely looking at the guns like, yes, good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks at the water and he goes, no, not good. Not good.
Is Hal afraid of water?
Does Hal know how to swim?
Yes.
But you'd have to ask him, wouldn't you?
Hal? Swim?
Because we all notice that he's looking at the water very mistrustfully.
You look at him, he's like, why not? He walks over the boat.
You can't swim!
Oh my gosh.
Shut up.
I can teach you.
Not now.
Alina can teach him.
I mean, we're surrounded by water. It's the best place to start.
It's the worst place to start.
And
Excuse me? Sharks? No. None of those. And he like points at Morth like very defensively. He's like, well, he can't swim in that either. He walks away.
and then oh no! And that's how you died.
I was like, I bet I would take that bet, but not no.
I reckon I could probably pull that off, actually. Completely athletic.
Alright, let's throw him overboard and test.
We should probably get on the ship.
No, he comes back like, no, we're not throwing the cleric overboard. No ice cream. Anything but ice cream, throw the cleric overboard.
We need him to heal me.
You're amazing armor? Yes.
Okay, so you all sort of get onto the ship, and you immediately are enveloped in the hustle and bustle of the crew. You can kind of see that there are about 50, crew members on board. There are a couple more passengers. There's a sort of a small family unit. They're not particularly well off, but they seem to be going on their way somewhere. You can see a couple of scholars in their robes and such with books. And that's what you can see above deck at the moment.
Do we have rooms, like a cabin that we're sharing, or is it a sort of a barracks situation?
So these ships are prepared for these kinds of things, and there are 5 passenger rooms, and they're sort of like dorms. They hold sort of, I think, 6 beds each.
How convenient.
Nice.
Are the rest of them full? Can we tell?
So you were given your own quarters because there were 5 of you.
Are there a lot of other passengers, or
There's the sages, there's a family, and we don't
scholars?
know.
We don't know who else yet. Okay.
They're probably full.
Should we go and put our stuff in our room?
Only things you don't mind losing.
Exactly. That's why my skirt's never coming off. I did.
Some of the crewmen hear you say this and kind of just like, as they just think that you're talking about your virginity.
You've got something more important than virginity under that skirt.
Don't tempt them.
I don't want to fight the whole ship.
I spot the scholars and I immediately my eyes zero in and I'm like, they've got books.
If Hal sees this, he's just like, panic, words, not actions this time.
What happened last time?
Actions. She stole the books from the stages, and it was very
I literally just picked one up to read the title.
Wow, you're a woman after my own heart.
That is not what happened. That is, I contest that. That is wrong.
Anyway, I went to look at these books and interrupted these 2 guys having sex in the tent, and then...
She stole their books.
I mean, I heard the explosions from 5 miles away.
I didn't kill them, however, because the void place kind of went... Yeah, they're probably dead now.
Oh, just a quick heads up.
The story's been told, Alina's actually getting a little bit scared.
Just a quick heads up. Looks like a lot of the Discord servers have just gone down. So, yeah, Rhythm is hanging on, but not quite.
Okay.
So we might cut out, but that's fine. We're pretty close to the end of the session anyway.
Yeah.
And so you guys, about half an hour passes, and you'll familiarise yourself with the ship. And you start to sort of depart. You hear you hear the bell going, you know, the ding dong, as the ship leaves. You can see everyone unfurling the sails, and the best part is, everyone's singing a sea shanty. Which I would have played if rhythm was up, but unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so you sort of get in, and because you're in the, you know, it's the morning, it's all good. You're sailing for a good 3 hours, actually, and you sort of find ways to pass the time. There's a couple of books aboard. You're probably playing card games and such with...
He's playing his eternal chess game. Is what happens.
How when the ship when sails came down and the ship left the dock, it does that little bit of a sway, which is normal. And you just anyone close to him, he's standing leaning against a wall and his arms folded, and you just see him tighten up a little bit.
He's not a nervous fly, he's a nervous sailor.
And when he goes up on deck, 'cause he probably does go up on deck over the 3 hours for air and stuff. You see, he doesn't go near the edge of the ship. He's just not today.
Oh man. Okay, and it gets to around. So you departed about 9 a.m. It's around sort of 1 lunchtime now, and they sort of fed you some bread and some cheese, and it's all very light meals and such until you get to land. And then, some more hours pass, and you talk to each other, and you find out some things about the crew on board. There's this one guy, Jones, who's just very, very chatty, and he loves to gossip, apparently. And you know far more about the crew than you really wish to know at this point.
Oh no!
Including everyone's interpersonal relationships. He's just going on one. And then it gets to about 7 p.m. and the sun starts to set. And a fog starts to descend on the sea. And
his little knife, it's not a combat dagger, and he's just been tossing it and catching the handle over and over again, trying to keep himself up.
The captain comes down, and you sort of hear him you overhear him talking to his crew members, and he says, "This wasn't in the report. Not entirely sure what's going on." And then all of you simultaneously hear singing.
Oh!
And that's where we'll cut the session. Congratulations, you've finished. We've played for the first time in a month. Good.
Yay! We finally got ourselves organised.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Alright, thank you to everyone who was watching. If you want to subscribe, just pop onto just hit the subscribe button on my channel there, and we are also on Twitch and Discord, and the links are just below. I'll be posting this up to YouTube later, so give it a look when you're done. And good night for now.
Night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.